least it went as expected for pick number 1. Cam Ward, formerly of Incarnate Word, currently of the Tennessee Titans, went number 1 overall in the NFL draft. The Cowboys added front line depth with guard Tyler Booker from Alabama with their number 12 pick. In the NBA, the Thunder came from 29 points down, the biggest playoff comeback in NBA history, 108-104. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. How we doing? It's the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I don't even know how to start the show without giving a countdown to draft.
Well, they're still...
I know, right?
They don't have the countdown to round 2?
No, it's
What a letdown, man.
The show's over, folks. Go home. No, it is a Friday on the Morning Huddle. Whoop, whoop.
It's more than that, baby. It is a Fiesta Friday.
Fiesta.
It is here. I can smell the chicken on a stick from here, baby.
Ah, yes.
We have the long, dry... We're here, baby.
Ah, yes.
Long, dry off-season's here.
Hey.
Lucius, take your shoes off. Grab your extra cups.
It's going to be a party. Is there music going the whole time at Fiesta?
Everywhere, all the time. This is the background. You're going to hear this for the next 10 days, baby.
Yeah.
There's no better time to be a San Antonian than the next 2 weeks.
Oh, this is it, huh?
I hate it when I run into people like, oh, yeah, I never go. What?
This one.
Why do you live here then?
This will be about 2 o'clock.
Oh. I'll be throwing my... Vic, you have no idea the singing I did last night, baby. I was calling the wolves last night.
I was going to say.
Oh, I was throwing them.
Now, when you say last night,
This morning, recently. They might still be singing as far as I know.
A few hours ago.
what time did your day start yesterday?
The funeral was at 10.
So you went from, you started at 10 and you wrapped up festivities.
I got home about 2.
Oh,
Man.
We mourn our dead, but we mourn our loved ones.
I was going to say.
my goodness.
Ooh, boy.
Your wife was there?
That's how I got home.
I was going to say, she didn't try to drag you out a little before?
She tried.
Yeah.
I had a purpose last night.
Okay.
There was a plan. I executed the plan to a T.
Nice. Okay.
And now I'm paying for it.
Yes. I'm guessing you'll pay for it even more later
Most
on.
of the day, yes.
More
Or
later
maybe well into the weekend. But
maybe get you a good nap after the show.
yeah,
and,
rally. It's Fiesta week.
Yeah. Are you fiestaing tonight?
Well, there were a lot of big plans made last night, I can tell you that. So we'll see how much.
Do you remember
I was going to say, see how much each of one of us recalls. One of us might be well on his way to Canada. I don't know.
I mean, well, I like when you start the 2-week festival with, well, we'll just see where things take us.
I'm a leaf on the street.
I got wasted the night before Fiesta started.
Yeah.
And now I'm just going to ride the ride.
The ride.
You might not be the same for 2 weeks. You might.
I hope not. I hope to become a completely different person.
Man, we've got so much to talk about today. Obviously, the NFL draft yesterday kicked off with round 1, and there were some happy folk, some unhappy folk. There were some surprises, and then some that we've kind of talked about. It wouldn't shock me if some of these guys slipped. And
considering how the draft went, a lot of offensive linemen, a lot of interior linemen, it was pretty radical. I mean, it could have been. It had the potential to be awfully dull. I mean, pick number 5, Majambo, whatever his name was, like who? And then the next dude, it's all offensive linemen. Then the crazy ass trades.
Yeah, there were plenty of crazy trades, and I understood some of them. I didn't understand a lot of them. You know what? I guess let's just get right into it. Normally we don't do this on a Friday, especially.
Well, we have a ridiculous amount of things to cover today.
We really do, including the NBA playoffs, of course, are still. Like you, I went to bed last night a little later than I wanted to, and really just peeved because of hockey. My team lost again. They've now lost back-to-back games.
It's not looking good for your.
No, we are down 2-1. 2-1 are the home team. Well, not the home team, but the good guys. And I'm starting to have a little bit of anxiety about because the Knights goalie is playing like ass, and that's never a good thing.
Ride the hot goalie in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And, you guys, your Golden Knight types, you're a little spoiled.
We are.
And, going out in the first round, half the hockey league would have been ecstatic with the season you guys had.
Oh, and more than half will be ecstatic if they do go out.
Yeah,
in the
because
first round.
of the way you guys hit the ground running and took everybody else good guys in what was the strangest expansion draft of all time.
Vegas is a wildly unpopular team amongst NHL fans. So
did they change the rules after that?
Yeah.
I thought so. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. You can pick top 5 of our best guys off every team to start off.
Seattle Kraken fan is not pleased with that rule. They're like, what do you mean you changed it?
The Kraken rolled out with those dudes from the hockey movie with the birth control glasses.
Yeah. Slap shot.
They got drafted. They had slap shot dudes playing for the Kraken.
Yeah, they didn't get it as good. Meanwhile, they're sitting home, can't even make the playoffs. They're like, the Knights are playing in the Stanley Cup their first year. This is garbage. So I was up a little late and went to bed pissed off. But I watched some hoop. I watched a really wild comeback for the Thunder.
Absolutely nuts, dude.
I think that I can't imagine. I mean, Memphis now looks like they're going to be, at least if they've got Ja, it's going to be a limited Ja.
I've never seen it, but I hear tell there's a Bruce Lee movie where he grabbed some dude's heart out of his and showed it to him while it was still beating.
Okay.
That's what Oklahoma City did to
That's what
Memphis
it seems. That's what it kind of feels like.
Take a look at your beating heart as I gobble it up.
They do that in. I want to say they do that in Kill Bill, right?
I've never seen either one of the Kill Bills.
What?
I know. I know that I somehow missed a culture. I did. I missed a cultural signpost. I did. And I've always wanted to go back and catch up.
You've got to, man.
I
Those
know.
are great.
But everybody
great
tells me
films.
Kill Bill 2 is better than 1.
They're both really good. They're both. Now it's a commitment.
Samurai swords, right?
It's a commitment.
And Uma Thurman.
Yep.
Well, that's 2 things I enjoy.
Yeah, it is a commitment, though. It's a lot of movie.
That's one of those reasons. It is a commitment. So every time I come by it, I'm like, yeah, there'll be another day. But anyway, I'm embarrassed.
A worthwhile watch. But yeah, I think that's one of those where it's
that was
like a Mortal Kombat, like a finish him.
That was the finishing blow right then. I've never seen a team get that embarrassed at home in the playoffs. That's just, you don't come back from that. There's no coming
just
back.
stomping the Thunder, and you saw it just start to melt away, and then when the Thunder got down like 9, I said, "Oh, they're gonna win this game. Like this is for sure."
And
coming.
every Grizzly knew it too. Like, oh no,
because Ja was out, and it's like, oh, here they go.
Man, my girl's in the building. Man, my mama's gonna see this.
Yep.
Man, this is gonna suck.
It's one of those things like, if there was a really horrific injury right now, would they just stop the game?
Could they just please stop it? I'm willing to call it.
Maybe someone calling a bomb threat to the arena.
Yeah. So you're telling me 29? I had to be up 39. So I thought 29 would be enough, but evidently I needed 39-point head start.
Quite enough.
Dang it.
But listen, man. We've got that. The NFL draft is probably going to rule the day, though. So we'll what we'll do now, Vic, is we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll get into the draft. We'll start at the top. We'll spend plenty of time on the Cowboys pick today. A lot of people not thrilled about the Cowboys pick. It's exactly what I said they needed. I said, go get you a fat guy. They need fat guys, and they got one. I was happy with the pick. If I'm a Cowboy fan, I'm not. But.
Well, for the longest time, Cowboy scouting crew, Will McClay included, had a good eye for linemen. Everybody they drafted worked out, even up until the undrafted free agent Steele. But following that pick, or following the luck they had in undrafted right tackle Steele, hadn't gone so well. So I'm happy with the idea of the pick. now this pitch going to have to actually play. But as far as a line, yeah, man, there's nothing wrong with the pick.
Because this is 3 years in a row, right, that they've taken a big boy on one side or the other.
And last year, jury's out, but it doesn't look good.
And the year before?
Well, maybe not. Yeah, not so bad. But I like the idea. I'm not all the way in on the pick because I actually don't have a lot of faith in their eyes. So if they're correct and they're back to where they should have been with the Tyler Biadasz pick, I'm down. If it's a couple of the other ones that haven't been quite there, I'm not down because I don't trust their eye for the talent on the line. So
because Tyler Guyton, again, like you said, the jury's out. Mozzie, disaster.
Well, that's defensive line, and they've had a disastrous. They get lucky, but for the most part, awful.
And then Tyler Smith, who
good. That's a good pick.
It is, but when they drafted him, they thought maybe tackle, and now
it didn't work out.
Guard, which he's a good guard. He's your best remaining offensive lineman.
Yeah, so I get the pick. Just prove to me that you're worthy of it.
Yeah, and it's been a while since they took a skill player, and the last time they did, it was a good one. It was CeeDee Lamb. Before that, you got to go back to Zeke, I guess. But the Cowboys, I don't mind the way they're building it. That's the
so far so good as well. I will say I'm cautiously optimistic. I'll say the Texans had a better day.
I disagree.
You don't think so?
I do not.
You don't trust their late round acuity?
I do not. No, I think the Texans were foolhardy.
Really?
Actually, yeah. I think so.
I wasn't upset with what they did at all.
Well, we get to talk about it all today. We'll start at the top next and work our way down. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We'll start with the good news. That road work at 151 westbound, 410 to Ingram just got picked up, so everything is reopened. Now the exit ramp is still closed at 410 southbound, the off ramp to 151. 35 southbound Tupperwine to Judson. That is road work still set up. It's got the roadway reduced to one lane. It's causing about a 20-minute delay. Stop and go from Olympia Parkway. On 35 northbound, that connector to 1604, road work still blocking the connector ramp. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
It's the final days of Diamonds Direct's annual spring sale. This is your last chance to get an extra 20% off our already renowned prices. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off your purchase. But hurry, these savings end soon. And this weekend only, we're open Sunday to give you an extra day to shop our expanded selection of trending engagement ring settings, his and hers wedding bands, must-have fine jewelry, and more. Time is running out. 20% off, store-wide savings. Visit diamondsdirect.com for details.
When you switch to Progressive and bundle your home and auto, you could save hundreds, and that's a surprising amount of money.
Whoa, that's like farmer's market money.
That's like give me a gallon of that locally sourced raw honey money.
That's certified organic heirloom tomatoes in every imaginable color except red money.
That's let's get 2 pounds of pink oyster mushrooms money. I'm not even sure I like pink oyster mushrooms.
Guess it's time to find out, because you could save hundreds when you switch to Progressive and bundle. Then the world is your pink oyster mushroom. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body?
Huh?
That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
McConaughey, how long did it take you to write that rhyme up? That's not off the top of your head.
Oh, you caught that, didn't you?
You're really taking this serious.
Yeah, no, I write these things out beforehand, and then I deliver them as if they are impromptu.
Yeah.
Tap it, putting it down. Putting it down.
Thank you, Matt McConaughey.
All right.
Good to have you again.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation.
Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row.
Groundworks is the official foundation repair company of Texas Athletics. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
I can't sleep.
What is it now?
It's the company. It's chaos.
What's chaos now?
The numbers, the expenses, the books. What if we get audited?
No one's gonna audit you at 3 a.m. Go to sleep.
I can't sleep.
You could if you used Ramp.
Who said that?
I don't care because they're right. Go to sleep and sign up for Ramp in the morning, Jerry.
Ramp is the corporate card that handles all your tedious financial operations automatically, integrates directly with your ERP, and gives you complete control over every transaction. Ramp gives you everything you need for bulletproof books and a better night's sleep.
Wow, that is exactly what my company needs.
Yes, and exactly what I also need. Go to sleep, Jerry.
Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, the first round of the NFL Draft is in the books. We're going to react to that Cowboys pick.
And that Cowboys pick will be on The Blitz at some point this afternoon, and we'll get all the reaction from John Machota from The Athletic.
And now we'll look ahead to rounds 2 and 3. What are the moves about to be made?
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
All right. You might think. No surprise there with Cam Ward going number 1. Cameron Ward, as they like to call him.
Oh, yeah. As Mama called him Cameron, I'm calling him Cameron.
Yeah. Roger Goodell called him Cameron.
He's a Cam.
And then the drama started as the Jacksonville Jags move up from 5 to 2. Now, there is a chart that will tell you like the how many points, the draft points, the draft, like what the draft pick is worth relative to other draft picks.
Okay.
For instance,
like the Sagarin rating.
Yeah, like the
I don't know.
The first pick in the draft is worth 3,000 points.
Okay.
The second worth 2,600. The first pick in round 4 is worth 88 points. The last pick in the draft is worth 1. So it just kind of gives the value, like, so when you're doing these trades, you kind of know what you're getting back. So if the second pick is worth 2,600 points, that was what Cleveland held. The fifth pick, where Jacksonville was, is worth 1,700. So in order to move up, the Browns were going to have to come up with something worthy of 900 draft imaginary points. Well, they started by giving up their first-round pick next year, which I mean, if it's anything like this year, is probably somewhere worth around 500 points. So that gets them to 2,200. So you're only 400 off now. Well, then the Jags decided to also throw in their first-round pick from next year.
That's where it got wonky to me.
Where it's like, wow, now suddenly it's pretty hard for me to feel like this is a justifiable pick for the Jags, because I don't think anybody looks at the Jags as a team who are about to turn it around and become a Super Bowl contender. So my guess is they're picking in the bottom half of the draft next year, which means that pick is probably worth well over 1,000 of those points. Maybe you're in love with Travis Hunter. I get it. A lot of people said the Jags, who had a need at corner and wide receiver, what this does is kind of opens up their board, but now they don't have another pick until round 3 because they also gave up the second. Like, if you had just given up this year's first and next year's first, okay, but you at least want to keep that second rounder for this year. The Jags didn't do any of it. I think the Jags did everything wrong in this pick.
Well, I will say this. They are trying to help out their quarterback, and they've tried in the past, and they failed. Guys have come and gone. They've gone and gotten free agents, and they didn't work out, and that's the one thing. This is the one thing that Jacksonville has not tried. To go and get a young kid, well, they have tried for it, hadn't worked. And this, I mean, but the fact is, they're trying to save this quarterback. This is last gasp.
Yeah.
So I get the idea. I just don't get the cost. They got hoodwinked. I mean, they spent way too much for something that they did, in fact, need, and they probably could have gotten in a different dude.
That's what I would think.
So I don't get the move. I get the idea.
But they get their guy, Travis Hunter, who a lot of people thought was the best guy in the draft. All right.
We'll see.
If that's the case, then you know what? You got it done. Congratulations.
I really thought they were about to draft running back. I thought they jumped all the way up there to get running back. I would have been mad at it. That would have been way too much.
I would have. I think that would have been the entirety of the show, as us saying this is the dumbest organization in the history of
it really felt that way to me, though.
Yeah, I kind of thought once they made that trade that it was the Travis, because I think they probably thought at 5 their guy would still be there. So and he was, if that's who they wanted, if that is who they really wanted. But I think that when they made the big move, I think they were like, okay, we're
Travis Hunter. This is a weird draft.
Hunter.
It's a strange draft.
It really is. But hey, man, you got to. I guess you got to take your swings, right? And the Giants, they decide
easy.
we're going to sit back. We're gonna take the guy that we think is the best available.
The best guy in the draft.
I'm not mad at it, but then they say, well, we didn't get a quarterback. Okay, well, don't worry, we'll get to that later. Felt kind of chalky for a little bit there. Will Campbell goes. By the way, Will Campbell from LSU.
Short arms. I thought he had little tiny arms.
He does have the short arms. He also, it looks like, first of all, did you see his suit?
It's like he packed a nice suit and forgot everything else. Like, hey, you want to get a shirt and a tie, maybe? No.
He had a green pinstriped suit that was, it did not appear to be a well-fitted suit.
It looked like the kind of thing I ordered off the rack. Amazon for Halloween.
Yes.
Off the rack, right?
The pimp suit that you order off Halloween.
Yes. And it was just,
that's what it looked like.
And I felt bad because I was all I could do was judge his suit, and I kept looking at his short arms, and then he started talking, and he was like, he seems like a good kid, and he's like all excited, he was getting emotional, and I was like, man, all I can do is look at this dude's bad suit and his nubby arms, and that's
tiny
all I can think about.
Alligator arms.
But he goes to the Patriots at 4, and that the good thing is he's a Patriot now, so I can just. I don't have. I already despise him. Whatever. Like, beat it.
Boy, it started to run online.
No suit and wearing son of a bitch. Cleveland, who had traded down, they take Mason Graham, who I knew whenever Mason Graham was taken, there was going to be Aaron Donald references, because that's what everybody's hoping that he can be. There is no other Aaron Donald, I believe.
Cleveland took him tells us. Oh, there's no way.
Ruined now.
He's
probably
not going to be anywhere near Aaron.
Raiders get Genty. Jets take Armand Mimbu, which is the guy that they were mocked to for months now, it feels. And then at 8, Carolina took Tet McMillan. And that sort of, I think that threw a cramp into some teams' plans.
Because the second wide receiver was done? Because that made sense to me. I mean, I don't know. The same way Jacksonville's trying to help their quarterback, they're trying to help theirs.
Yep. But I think the gap between Hunter, McMillan, and then the other wide receivers, it appears was bigger of a gap than a lot of people thought.
Yeah, you're right. Well, it might not have been as big a gap. It's just needs of the next couple of teams. But I do think that the drop-off after Ted, I didn't know much about this dude until the last 2 weeks. And in everything you see, other than Hunter, he's the best high pointer. He's certainly got the big body. He feels like a WR2. He doesn't have to be the lead dude, I don't think. So I'm not surprised.
But teams like Dallas, Atlanta, Seattle, Arizona, teams that we thought might be wide receiver needy, all passed after that.
Yeah, that was it.
So McMillan goes 8. Kelvin Banks goes 9. I mean, you talk about a roller coaster draft process for him. Was looked at as a top 10 guy, then was mocked outside of first rounds for a good couple of months, and then the last couple of weeks, it's been like, oh, Kelvin Banks is rising up the charts.
So what the hell was that mocked out?
I don't know. He didn't have a great season this year, but I mean, the guy's he's a massive guy, quick feet. Like you could see the upside of him. So he goes in the top 10, and then Colston Loveland goes 10 to the Bears, which is such a Bears pick. That's.
Does it matter?
Well, I didn't think it was that bad.
I don't know. Maybe this is like.
What's wrong with just being just doing your job and filling roles?
It just feels, I don't know. Anytime the Bears take someone, I go, oh, that's not going to work.
No, nothing will work.
What a waste. I don't know why I always think that. What's wrong with me? But I guess they've proved me wrong, Bears. 11, the 49ers take Mykel Williams, and then we got to the Dallas Cowboys at 12. And
no new toys.
It seemed like everybody was thinking, okay, or is it going to be Matthew Golden? Do they reach here and take Omarion Hampton, someone like that? The Cowboys didn't. They did what I had hoped they would do. We'll talk about that on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from Newstalk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We'll start with the good news. That road work at 151 westbound, 410 to Ingram just got picked up, so everything is reopened. Now the exit ramp is still closed at 410 southbound, the off-ramp to 151. 35 southbound Tupper Wine to Judson. That is road work still set up. It's got the roadway reduced to one lane. It's causing about a 20-minute delay. Stop and go from Olympia Parkway. On 35 northbound, that connector to 1604, road work still blocking the connector ramp. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Listen up, Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. So let's do it again and get vaccinated. We're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults under 50. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit VaxAssist.com to schedule. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Welcome to Staples.
Hi, I hear Staples prints it all.
Oh, you bet. Posters, banners.
Can you print it all for Mother's Day?
Oh, of course. Photo gifts like canvas prints, photo puzzles.
Can you print it all for graduation?
Sure can. Custom cards and invites.
Can you print a huge banner with the grad's picture?
Oh, definitely.
Even an embarrassing baby picture?
Oh, those are the best kind.
I know, right?
Print it all for moms and grads at Staples. And right now, get 40% off custom cards, invites, and photo gifts. N75 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
May I help you?
I just wanted to request a late checkout, please.
Of course. That's $30 per hour for up to 4 hours.
Huh. Okay, but if you can offer a late checkout, then that probably means no one is staying in that room. So if it's empty, maybe I can just stay a few extra hours.
Oh, aren't you adorable?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District understands that keeping your child safe is your top priority. Vaccines are safe and can help your child's immune system fight harmful germs. They protect against serious diseases and can even save lives. Because when it comes to your child's health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. Learn more at sa.gov/health. sa.gov/health.
Hey, San Antonio. Multiple tours overseas, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training toward our low-cost degree and certificate programs. We call that credit where credit is due. For over 75 years, our dedicated success coaches have been helping service members achieve their goals. Get started with local support and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-334-2266. That's 800-334-2266. 800-334-2266.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Folks, right now is the ideal time to get ready for the summer season with the Quarter Moon AC $58.99 preseason special. It's a real home run. You'll have your AC ready before the summer heat hits. We'll inspect your AC's indoor and outdoor coils, filters, temperature levels, and make sure you're ready for the summer heat. All just for $58.99. So when your AC is warming up, Quarter Moon comes in like a heavy hitter.
Hey, batter, I'm gonna give it some heat.
651-5899. License number TACLA 141074E M16004.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Let's go!
Hi, it's Jason Minix. You're listening to the home of the Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Joe Reinigle had a good time listening to my singing yesterday.
We all do.
He was particularly impressed or disgusted. I couldn't tell. Wow,
Yeah.
come on. The Cowboys from hell used their 12th pick on a guard. And my initial thought, I know what you're saying, Vic. I made a video last week. I said, you know what? Everybody's trying to put pressure on the Cowboys to take a shiny new toy, and they need to build the right way. They need a fat man, and they drafted a fat man. Tyler Booker becomes the third Tyler on their offensive line, is what it appears. Three Tylers and a Terrence.
It's a necessary thing. We had a bunch of Coopers there for a few minutes.
Right?
That didn't work out, so we're gone to Tyler.
Well, I think the Coopers and the Brocks are the reason why they needed to get another Tyler.
And we'll get some Cadens next year, and we'll be set.
Well, this isn't a 12U baseball team. That's
They're aging in, though.
But there are lots of Brocks and Tylers and Cadens on those teams, too. This was, again, I knew Cowboy fan was going to be kind of upset with this. There's two things I like about it. One, I thought it fit a need. Two, this dude seems so excited to be a Dallas Cowboy. Like, I mean, he slapped the star, and he's like, let's go. And when he hugged Roger, he's like, I'm a freaking Dallas Cowboy. Like, sometimes you want guys who are just, like, stoked to be a part of the culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm happy for him. Just bring it. That's because he's going to have to overcome the blahs. I do think Jerry's got some work ahead of him. I hope he sticks to the plan, because I think he's going to wake up this morning feeling like, wow, okay, I did the right thing, and I don't feel that good.
Well,
you know, I could have done something crazy this morning and woke up to a bunch of phone calls and people wanting to talk to me because of the crazy thing I did last night. And I wake up this morning, people mad at me because I did the right thing. You would think that was wait till today.
Yeah.
I'll get you moving.
Cowboys have the 44th and 76th picks today. So they've got a chance to do some more things, maybe get a shiny toy, who knows. But
we have our toy we already got. We got the early Christmas present named Mingo.
Johnny Mingo.
We got us a Johnny Mingo a little earlier.
Mingo, that's
so we've
right.
already opened our Christmas present.
There was there's a report out there that the Cowboys actually fielded a phone call from the Houston Texans. The Texans wanted to trade up to 12, couldn't put together enough of a package for the Cowboys' liking.
Do you believe that?
Yes.
I mean, it's not outlandish, but for the Texans to think they were going to deal with the Cowboys, they would have. If the moment they're going to make that call, they should know they're going to have to overpay.
Yeah, they probably, and they probably did. And then it sounded like they said, "Hey, let's think about it." At least from the reports, they called back Nick Caserio and said, "Hey, your offer's not enough. Here's our counter offer." And Nick Caserio said, "We're going to stay put."
Yeah.
And, this happens a lot.
Jerry's not in the business of improving the Texans' lot in life. I'm not in the business of helping you at all. I don't care if it helps me. I'm not helping you.
Well, and then the Texans decide after that, we're moving out of the first round. We couldn't get the guy we wanted. The guys that we were interested in were off the board. So they traded out, and we'll get to that later. I think it was not a great move.
Why stay in the first round if you don't have a single player as a first-round grade? If you
look
at your board and you say, at 25, there is not a first-round draft pick. I don't want to be attached to this dude for 5 years. I'm done. Now, again, just like the Cowboys pick, you're going to have to back it up. But I have a lot more faith in Casario making the picks correctly later in the draft than I do the Cowboys drafting an offensive lineman right now.
Well, if you are smarter than the Commanders and the Chiefs, who both took offensive linemen, offensive tackles right after the Texans traded out, and you're smarter than those teams, and you know something about those linemen that they don't.
Well, everything that I've seen showed there was only 20 to 25 number one draft picks, first-round draft picks in this draft. Everybody else drafted. If I'm sitting at 25 and all of my first-round graded guys are done, I can get out and get some more later and a much more add some depth to a team that's pretty good. I think that's the wise move. Now, again, Casario could draft this thing stupid out of it. He could pull out some weak moves and ruin this thing. But if I don't have the grade, stick to your plan. And you don't see it, go. Don't get ghosted into something stupid. And they picked up some moderate
up a little
value.
bit, not
moderate,
much.
Nothing great.
And the Texans also made a weird trade beforehand. Like, they traded a bunch of late-round picks for a couple fifth-round. Like, it was like a weird thing that they did with the Browns. You never see that. Usually you see those types of the later trades get traded, when it's time to make a pick.
Right then.
Like, hey, there's a guy we really want. Who knows who's going to be around in round 5, 6, or 7? And they swapped a bunch of those trades, which was odd. But, okay, I guess the Browns are saying we want to stockpile actual picks. But either way, I thought it was a good move by the Cowboys. I think that he fills a massive need, and if he steps into Zach Martin's shoes, and I mean, obviously, we don't expect him to be prime Zach Martin, but the hope is he's better than late Zach Martin, and the real hope is he's better than Brock Hoffman. Because that's where they were running into a real issue last year. Is that the interior of that line was just not.
See, the Brock Hoffman pick is the concern for me.
Yeah.
I mean, they really loved Brock Hoffman. And now you're telling me this guy's as good or better? Okay, well, let's just see the proof here. Because lately your track record hasn't been so solid.
Well, remember, Brock Hoffman, undrafted free agent.
Yeah.
This guy's a first-round pick.
Remember we were talking about him in training camp last year. Like, we found us somebody. And he wasn't awful, but, I mean, I'm very happy with the pick. I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm not mad at Jerry yet.
Brock Hoffman looked like an undrafted free agent with a cool last name.
Brockman.
That's about it. After that, the Dolphins take Kenneth Grant. The Colts take Tyler Warren,
which was one
feels like another very Coltsy pick. The two teams that took tight ends, the Bears and the Colts. Whenever they pick, I'm like, oh.
So
I roll.
I was led to believe, and at least by my eye, Penn State tight end was better. No, I'm not mad at the Michigan kid. I don't think he was awful, but I was kind of surprised that they went that way instead of the other. I guess Michigan kid's better on the line, maybe a little bit more of a blocking presence.
Yeah.
So if you were really trying to help your quarterback, which it felt like that obviously was the move, felt like the other guy was a better receiver.
I think that it ended up being Ben Johnson, who's now in charge of the Bears. Johnson came in and he decided that there were things that he liked about him more. And again, when you get these offensive geniuses or whatever, and I think Ben Johnson is one of those guys. I think he's got guys who he thinks fit his mold a little bit. He looked a lot like Sam Laporta, who he had up in Detroit, and it's a big body. They're thinking,
it's power
6'6",
football.
250 pounds.
Part of cracking the modern NFL, and we're starting to have to pay for it now, but is to have a highly effective tight end, and tight ends just don't get paid that much. It's an added value that you can. It's a force multiplier at tight end, and that's over the last couple of years. You look at the best offenses. For the most part, they've got a pass receiving, not drive blocking tight end, a fifth wide receiver, a third wide receiver, given a pro set. So I just felt like the Penn State kid fit more of the Kelsey mold than it did the Andrews mold.
Yeah.
Just not for offense's sake. I felt like the other kid would have been better.
The Indianapolis Colts, Warren, like we said, then Jalen Walker goes to the Falcons. We still got no news on Kirk Cousins yesterday, and we knew he wasn't going to be worth a first-round pick, so it's not a total shock. But I do think there's still something to be done with Kirk Cousins before this thing ends.
Still a lot of quarterbacks to get drafted.
There are.
Moves made.
Arizona takes Walter Nolan, defensive tackle from Ole Miss. Cincinnati follows it up with Shamar Stewart for the Aggie.
Those two Aggies
number
played
17.
together.
Yeah, two guys who played together. Gray Zabel, the North Dakota State interior lineman, sort of guard/center.
Gray Zabel.
That's his name, yep. Goes to Seattle.
I thought that was a fish.
Yeah, I think it actually is also a fish. Yeah, you
poach it and put some lime on it. Oh,
you do it. That's the kind of fish you stand in the river with and catch with a fly reel.
Oh, that's a whopper there. A big old Gray Zabel.
Bucks go wide receiver Emeka Ibuka from Ohio State. Jahdae Barron goes number 20 to the Broncos.
Second best name in the draft.
The Texans corner/safety, which again, another team that we kind of all had penciled in wide receiver.
I was going to say, is he I think he's going to end up being a safety, isn't he?
I don't know. I think he's capable of playing both. I guess it's just a team need.
Two safeties in the first round?
That are actually listed as safeties?
Well, I think, Well, there's one for sure safety.
Which
even that is odd.
Malachi Starks, who went to the Ravens, is the only guy who was listed as true safety. But I think a lot of teams, and again, I don't know if I'm not sure where the Broncos fell in, but Jahdae Barron was a guy who was looked at as a guy who could play corner or safety. Obviously, corner's the more valuable piece.
Yeah, I'd want to play corner. That's how you get paid. But if that was the case, I wonder if there's ever been two safeties taken in the first round.
Oh, yeah.
You think so?
Oh, yeah,
safety?
Yeah, for sure. A couple of years ago, safety was very in vogue. Remember the Ravens were taking Kyle Hamilton, and it was like, oh, what a great draft.
So they're doing it again.
Yeah. 21 came up, and the Pittsburgh Steelers were on the clock, and everybody started to talk about Shador, and is this the time? And no, Derek Harmon, defensive tackle from Oregon. Not a guy a lot of people were talking about. Certainly not a guy a lot of people were talking about for the Steelers. But it was a reminder that we don't know bleep before the draft. Like, we don't, and neither do these mock drafters often have no idea where these guys really are enamored.
Well, let's be real here. That was stupid.
Maybe so.
Oh, that's just stupid. I get your idea if you're 4 years ago Mike Tomlin. This version of Mike Tomlin, and if there's going to be a future Mike Tomlin, needs a quarterback, man.
Well, need something on offense. And
well, dude, you had your pick. You could have done just about anything you wanted there. And even if it was wrong, you would have at least shown that you're trying to fill a need and not go, we are a defensive power. What are you doing, man?
Very odd choice.
How much are they paying wide receivers there for Mason to throw him the ball?
Mason Rudolph, yeah.
Oh, my God. Who's the wide receiver? DK?
Yeah.
You think DK went to bed happy last night?
Listen, I'm going to play for about I'll play for 7 M's, you know.
Dude.
Aaron, you know, listen, guys,
this is one of those situations where
I got to get my personal stuff in order.
Tomlin needs to go Jerry, and Jerry needs to go Tomlin. They need to do one of those personality switches.
Oh, yeah.
We'll wrap up discussion on the first round on the other side. We'll start with the LA Chargers, who went running back, and a Texas boy went to Green Bay. We'll talk about that next. Morning Huddle 94.1.
It's time for the herd you love. It's time for professional spring football. Your San Antonio Brahmas are back, bringing you more of the action, the celebration, and the unforgettable moments you love. Join us for the Viva Fiesta Viva Brahmas home opener this Sunday, April 27th at 2 p.m. Bring the energy to the Alamo Dome as your San Antonio Brahmas take on the Houston Roughnecks. Get your tickets today at UFLBrahmas.com. That's UFLBrahmas.com for tickets. Our town, our team, our herd.
George gets justice. In an instant, a careless driver turns your life upside down. You're hurt, the bills pile up, and work stops. At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, your consultation is free. No fees, no pressure, just real help. Justice starts with one call. If you've been injured, it's time to get George. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
All right, guys, summer is coming. You could hit the gym, but you're probably going to say, I'll start next Monday. Here's what you need to do. You need to get M-Sculpt Neo from Dr. Connie Hires. It burns fat, builds muscle, and tightens up your abs, your arms, even your butt and your legs. And guess what? She can do it, too. Couples who sculpt together, well, call 210-494-8446 or go to findyourbeautiful.com. FindYourBeautiful.com, because Dad Bod season is officially over, and Dr. Connie Hires is here to help you get ready for summer.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Whether you're shaping up a small yard or tackling serious acreage, Steel walk-behind, zero-turn, and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow.
I can't sleep.
What is it now?
It's the company. It's chaos.
What's chaos now?
The numbers, the expenses, the books. What if we get audited?
No one's gonna audit you at 3 a.m. Go to sleep.
I can't sleep.
You could if you used Ramp.
Who said that?
I don't care because they're right. Go to sleep and sign up for Ramp in the morning, Jerry.
Ramp is the corporate card that handles all your tedious financial operations automatically, integrates directly with your ERP, and gives you complete control over every transaction. Ramp gives you everything you need for bulletproof books and a better night's sleep.
Wow, that is exactly what my company needs.
Yes, and exactly what I also need. Go to sleep, Jerry.
Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Some of the stuff that Vic starts rocking out to, I just don't get.
Hey, well, this is of an era. See, this is the song that played about 1:15 on the third run. This is when you were zeroing in on the slowest wildebeest.
That's what it feels like.
Come here, torta.
Yeah. You were lurking in the bushes for the slow one who was slurring her words and had a broken heel.
Yeah, walking on one foot, like up and down.
Might have been crying recently.
It's the fat girl at the bachelorette party in Vegas at 3 a.m.
That's the 2:15 one. I'm talking about 1:15 when you were getting the pick of the litter.
Yeah.
Shoot your shot with this one.
Take your chance, man.
And miss out, man.
I noticed you've been crying.
Is everything okay?
Is everything all right?
I hate to hear that for you. Do you want to talk about it?
Let's go outside.
Let's go outside real quick. I got something here.
Can I get you a drink?
Can I get you a drink? Let's go sit down and talk about it.
The Chargers go running back. Omarion Hampton, number 22, goes to L.A., which, I mean, it's
a very Harbaugh thing to do.
It is a very Harbaugh thing to do. I mean, well, if you're not going to take defense, you take a running back.
That's what I'm saying. So, I tell you what, this kid could turn out to be a genuine stud.
The Packers go with Matthew Golden, the wide receiver from Texas, speed merchant. And, man, it seemed like the Packers fans were excited. They liked the idea of a first-round wide receiver. I don't think they've had one in like a million years.
Just like the Cowboys, to me, to be a successful Cowboy team and to do what they are born to do, you'd think, they have to have a stud running back. That is in the DNA of the Cowboys, going all the way back to Calvin Hill and Walt Garrison. It's who the Cowboys are, bell cow running back, all the way through Zeke, honestly. Yeah. Green Bay has to have a wide receiver. Yeah. I don't care about the quarterback, but they have to have a stud wide receiver. It's in their DNA.
Well, and historically, remember Green Bay, they use free agency less than any other franchise. They really depend on their scouting department and their draft, and you know, the way that the fans reacted, it seems like this is something they've been aching for, and Matthew Golden fits a role for them. So good for Packer fan who seemed very excited about
Jordan
this. Love. Yeah, Donovan Jackson, offensive guard from Ohio State, goes to Minnesota, and then we got to 25. The Texans were on the clock.
Yeah, Shador was sitting in his own personal green room,
and the Texans trade out. The New York Giants move up, and everybody says,
Interesting.
Uh-oh, here we come. Here comes Shador. Here comes Shador. Now, the Texans got a second and a third-round pick for this. I just felt like, I don't know, I felt like they could have done better. But
they probably could.
They basically, I guess they decided there's no one that we want a fifth year on. Okay. Then the Giants turn in their card, and it's a quarterback, but it is not Shador Sanders. Jackson Dart goes number 25 to the New York Giants.
I hate the fact that Brian Daboll and I agree. I hate that
Sal Palantonio was like, Brian Daboll believes that Jackson Dart has a lot of traits similar to Josh Allen. And it's like, are we really doing this?
Today I am.
You really doing that?
He could be Josh Allen, but he needs about 6 inches.
Yeah, I mean, now Josh Allen can throw the ball to the moon and run like the wind.
Well, Jackson Dart is, from a distance, if you squint, looks kind of like Josh Allen.
If you drink 8 shots.
If he'd been sick for a couple of weeks and shrunk. But seriously, that was unbelievable to me. that they jumped up to do it.
Now, this is, like you said, you agreed with this.
I think he's the second best quarterback. He might be the best quarterback. He ain't a first-round draft pick, though.
I don't believe so either.
But I get the fifth
But also,
year.
if we hadn't,
and the
Giants hadn't done something, we would have been like, oh, really? That's what they think is the long-term at quarterback.
Well, I mean, they have Russell, and they got the best backup quarterback in his brain of all time. If they'd have passed by, everybody said, well, just wait until next year. They're just or wait until later. They're going to get somebody to mold. But obviously he's not going to start, and it is an ideal situation. You have him for 5 years, and the very minimum, he doesn't have to play next year.
He's not going to start the year. Wouldn't shock me if he finishes the year.
Russell's not going to play a whole year. So then you go, well, if he ain't going to play backup, he ain't going to play much. What's the point of playing him? I mean, we know what we have. So Doc will play the moment Russell Wilson goes down.
We'll talk about this more and what it means for Russell Wilson, what it means for Jameis Winston, and what it means for the Giants. And I think the Giants, I guess they probably, because they didn't have to pay so much, thought they were okay doing this. This does mean Tommy DeVito might be gone. Tommy Cutlets might be going somewhere else.
Cowboys need a backup.
Well, maybe that's the call to make. It is the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We'll continue this on the other side.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies, offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code radio for an extra 5% off.
Join us for San Antonio's premier Fiesta event, Taste of the Northside, presented by HEB, Thursday, May 1st at 6. Experience gourmet food and wine tastings, sip on elevated spirits and cold brews, and enjoy live entertainment at our new location, The Rock at La Cantera. All proceeds benefit Brighton Center, serving children with disabilities and developmental delays in San Antonio. Limited all-inclusive tickets are $300 in advance and can be purchased at tasteofthenorthside.org. Viva Fiesta.
John, what do you think about these tariffs? What do you think is going to happen? Well, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. The prices on used cars have suddenly come up because the cost has gone up. And at GimmeTheVin.com, we're paying more. Go to GimmeTheVin.com, put in your license plate, and see for yourself. We're paying more today than we were yesterday. Remember, the tariffs have raised the car prices, and we are paying extra. GimmeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer. Sell us your car.
Sell us your car. GimmeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Hey, listen up, San Antonio. Multiple tours overseas, long nights monitoring cyber activity, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training. We call that credit where credit is due. Whether you're active duty and looking at what's next, or a veteran looking for something new, our degrees and certificate programs teach the application of emerging technologies and enduring life skills. So get started on a degree or certificate with personalized local support services and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. UMGC keeps your educational goals attainable with no-cost digital materials replacing textbooks in most courses, reduced tuition rates for eligible service members and their families, and scholarships for those who qualify. Get started here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
Drafting the perfect roster means getting the right balance of power and performance. Season after season, Ego Outdoor Power Equipment has drafted a truly innovative lineup of cordless tools that has the power of gas without the noise, fuss, or fumes. Plus, the same battery powers all Ego essentials, from mowers and blowers to chainsaws and trimmers. It's all power, zero compromise. Check out the Ego lineup of spring must-have tools at egopowerplus.com.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news to stats to placing bets in a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay, things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
May I help you? I just wanted to request a late checkout, please. Of course. That's $30 per hour for up to 4 hours. Huh. Okay, but if you can offer a late checkout, then that probably means no one is staying in that room. So if it's empty, maybe I can just stay a few extra hours. Oh, aren't you adorable?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Looks like a trouble spot on Loop 410 southbound at 37, southeast side of town. Quickly moved it off a main lane. It's now off to the shoulder. Now, this road work on 35 on the northeast side, southbound to Upper Wine to Judson Road, that's causing a 25-minute commute. That's due to road work, and it's got the roadway reduced to just one lane. You're going to start to slow down right around Schertz Parkway. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
At least it went as expected for pick number 1. Cam Ward, formerly of Incarnate Word, currently of the Tennessee Titans, went number 1 overall in the NFL draft. The Cowboys added front line depth with guard Tyler Booker from Alabama with their number 12 pick. In the NBA, the Thunder came from 29 points down, the biggest playoff comeback in NBA history, 108-104. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center brought to you by Centergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowteam.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Rolling on through on a Friday. Yay! Yay, yay! In the words of Ice Cube, yay, yay!
My last day of hair with no cascarone dust.
Ah, yes.
2 weeks.
Ah, yes.
You're not doing it right if you're not.
Maybe you should
combing out
shave your
weird.
head for Fiesta.
No, I like to save the stuff.
Do you?
That way I get home and I wake up with a little, see that colored paper gets on your face and then you drool and then you peel it off and it just stays a little tattoo.
Okay.
Little crepe
you
paper,
like that
colored tattoo on my face on one side.
Okay. Everybody's got their thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's how a lot of us wake up.
Yeah.
Well, you can wake up with glitter. Like, you don't even have to go to Fiesta for that. Your wife might be mad at you.
That's never good when you wake up with glitter on you.
No.
Ever.
No. Wives hate
Why
that.
is there glitter on your thighs? What?
What's that smell?
What?
Why you smell like peaches and have glitter on your face?
I don't even know what you're talking about, babe.
I
I
don't
don't smell anything. That's not glitter. That's sweat.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, woman?
It wasn't me.
That glitter spray should be illegal.
It really
Why
should.
are you doing that to us?
And like the stripper scent.
That
like,
stripper scent.
Why? Like,
Yeah. Like
can't we?
kind of flower?
Can we keep this a secret? Like, what are you doing? You just trying to tell on me already?
Wear something that's like barbecue smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I got home, smelled like barbecue
Yeah, it
smoke.
smelled like mesquite.
Or like gym towels. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I don't think I want that either. I don't think I want that.
It might be sexy.
Have you seen Porky's?
If you're into that, yeah.
Evidently, there's some women that do like that.
Yeah.
All right. The Giants trade up and take Jackson Dart. Bit of a surprise move. I will say this. I've got a couple buddies who are Giants fans. They're thrilled about this because not only did they get Abdul Carter.
Yeah, that's the other thing. They already had Carter.
Right. They didn't reach, because remember there were people who were saying the Giants, Shedeur Sanders could go as high as 3. Mel Kiper was banging the table that Shedeur Sanders should go to 3. But
there's a lot of people quiet today.
There are
for a lot of reasons.
And you know what? I don't think Shedeur Sanders is going to last much longer.
No, I think first 3 picks he's done. But
Browns have 2 of the first 4 picks.
Yeah.
The Raiders have the 5th pick. Like there's teams who could, and then the Saints at 40. He won't get past 40. So
I think the Saints, if they're crazy if they're not trying to get right there. Why? If you're the Saints and you can get up for a second rounder and get a quarterback that you would have, I would have thought you'd have taken it 10.
But now you got to get in front of Cleveland, who has the first pick in this draft, or in the draft
So
today.
if I'm the Saints, I'm calling Cleveland, and I would be willing to. Although Loomis just doesn't have a whole lot to give up.
No,
he
doesn't. And you know what?
Hello, Quinn Ewers.
I mean, it could be that the Saints aren't really in love with Shedeur.
Maybe not.
We don't know what what teams think of Shedeur.
And what about the kid that everybody was talking about, the Louisville one? Shuck.
Tyler Shuck. Yeah, still possible. Wouldn't be shocked to hear his name today. Jalen Milroe still out there.
Yeah. You know what? I was wrong. They don't have to jump up. There's plenty of quarterbacks left.
Let's talk about the narrative now that comes out, and this is what I hate, that because Shedeur didn't get drafted in round 1, and because people were questioning his attitude / entitlement, now this is a race issue, and Shedeur is not being drafted because this is the way that these billionaires keep down the black man.
I think that was the conversation before it actually happened. Today, there's going to be no discussion about that. It won't even be brought up.
I mean, it was all over the Twitter sphere or the X sphere last night.
Yeah.
And that's like, dude.
But in the cold gray light of day, as Robert Earl likes to say, it's an obvious thing. Obviously, he didn't measure up. He didn't grade out to any team, and it's not a racist thing. He just didn't grade out. Let's be real here.
Cam Ward, a black quarterback, went number 1 overall, and you can point to, well, Shedeur did this in college. Okay,
you mean 4 and 8?
Yeah,
4 and 8
was 13 and 12 over 2 years.
So,
and it's you can see it from both sides. You can see, well, he turned Jackson State, who had never won like double-digit games, and he made them a relevant program. He turned Colorado around, and you know what? I think Shedeur had a lot to do with that. Travis Hunter, even though Travis Hunter is probably the better player, Travis Hunter alone couldn't have turned Colorado around. It takes a quarterback to go out and take a 0-win team or a 1-win team and turn them into a bowl caliber team over the course of 2 years. There's a lot of credit to be given to Shedeur, but there's also a lot of questions about how he's viewed, and do you want that guy leading your team? And you can say, well, the entitlement thing shouldn't matter, but there are guys who, and it's not just necessarily the billionaire owners, it's the GMs, it's the personnel guys, it's the head coaches who have to make these decisions of, do I want this guy leading my locker room?
Well, yeah. I don't care what kind of jerk you are. If you can spin it and we're winning football games, everybody put up with everything. Russell Wilson was beloved as long as he was winning in Seattle. Then that attitude got real old when they weren't. Right. So I don't have a problem with an arrogant, self-centered quarterback. I kind of want that in his mentality. Like, it's on me. Let it be me. I want that. But at the same time, you want a little bit of there's stuff for me to learn. And
well, there was also the guy who was saying, on top of that, he holds the ball too long. He doesn't operate on time. He's just not as good as people think he is.
And on the other, we knew he was a second, third round quarterback. This is where he's supposed to be. This is by the grades, by what everybody has said. There weren't even 32 first-round draft picks. Certainly was only one first-round draft pick grade for a quarterback.
Well, apparently the Giants thought there were two, and Shedeur wasn't one of them.
The Giants, I think, because of the merit of getting Carter and him still, the guy that they liked second, still hanging around late, it's kind of like, what the hell? Like you said, it didn't give up much.
But the fact that the guy that they liked second is not the guy that was talked about as the guy.
It's kind of the ultimate defense to where Shedeur lands will always be Tom Brady. You don't have to, I mean, how many whiffs are there in the first round? And now you get, if you do draft Shedeur, you get a motivated, humbled Shedeur. Well, I think motivated.
Motivated, yeah.
Yeah, to prove him. And humbled to the extent that I gotta go prove it. But that's the kind of guy I want. I want a self-centered, angry quarterback who wants to go win.
Well, I know he tweeted yesterday, whatever happens today, I'm built for it. And I think that was his way of saying, if I don't get picked here, it's all good.
He's been a pro, like I said, since he's 50.
Yeah.
I mean, he's raised by a pro. I feel bad that he's kind of nationally embarrassed, but he shouldn't be. You know, it's humiliating. It is.
I think Dion is probably the most upset here because this was his goal all along, was to get his son to be a first-round draft pick.
The mistake he made was not still playing like Bronny. If Bron was still playing, then his kid would be in the league.
Something tells me Dion wouldn't be as effective today.
Well, I'm just saying Dion should have turned pro for a day.
Maybe
and then something good would
I
happen.
will only play for a team that drafts my son.
And then I don't even draft him. I'll just I'll bring him. We're 2 for 1.
Yep. You draft me in the 7th round, that's all good.
Honestly,
it's all good.
because this grade was so bad, you really wonder about his fortunes. You really do. If another quarterback is taken before him, you really wonder what is it that we don't know.
And it's not like this is the first time this has happened. I mean, there's been occasions before where the guy that everyone thought was going to be the next one to go, and then there's some guy who, for whatever reason, jumped up and they took that guy instead. And oftentimes it's more of a guy who's got like these freak physical tools who they say, oh, we got to take a chance with this guy.
And that's not him.
Versus the safe play. That's not Jackson Dart. I mean, if anything, Shedeur is kind of, at least from a skill set point, the safe play. You know what I mean?
He's the most prepared to come into the NFL. He's been working with pros since he could play football. Despite the losing at Colorado, but there was success in there. But he's still a young quarterback that holds the ball too long, doesn't keep his eyes downfield enough, tends to zero in on one receiver, and really doesn't have the cannon arm to give you that 15-yard out. That's why he's still sitting there.
Yeah. And there are times where the surprise guy ends up working out. Like
I think Milroe's going to go before Shedeur. I think if you like Shedeur, you'll like the upside of Milroe even more.
I mean, that's the thing. And I was saying this yesterday with Joe. The thing that you can like about Shedeur, and I think the thing that you like about Quinn Ewers, is it's going to be really hard for them to be bad football players.
Oh, you're right. They're more ready today.
They're very safe.
Absolutely.
The floor seems pretty high with those guys, to the point where if Shedeur Sanders isn't a superstar, Shedeur Sanders is going to be a really good backup quarterback in the league for a long time, because he's a safe player. He's a guy you can count on. He's not going to be reckless with the football.
Those guys don't.
But
there's the transition from you should be a player till now you're a backup. But after you're a backup for a year or two, if you haven't proven to be a Cooper Rush, I'm drafting the next backup. So then you start you're getting on that. I work with some car dealers, and they call some cars sleds. You get on a sled that starts at the best car dealer, and it's a used car, and by a month later, it's at the one on the corner that's got 5 used cars. It's a sled down. It's still the same vehicle, but the market is so different that you don't really want to invest in it, because I'll go look for the next one.
Yeah.
And that doesn't factor for a dude that has a lot of exterior interests. There might be some other things down the road for him. So his location, where he lands first, is really going to be vital. I mean, he's really going to have to be in a position to be developed as a potential starter, not as a long-term backup.
No, I think that's the first try.
Right.
But what I mean is,
he's got all the skill set. I agree with you.
Like Anthony Richardson, if Anthony Richardson,
it's all or nothing.
He's either it's Trey Lance.
Yeah,
he's either the dude, or I don't need this guy on my team.
He's all or nothing. I don't need a backup like that.
Shedeur Sanders feels like, man, it's very much Colt McCoy. Colt McCoy was like, man, if he hits and he's great, awesome. If not, Colt McCoy can play backup quarterback in this league for 10 years. That's the vibe I get for Shedeur Sanders. Oh. Whereas Jalen Milroe, Milroe feels like, man, if Jalen Milroe, if it doesn't work in 3 or 4 years, Jalen Milroe is going to be out of the league.
Yeah, all or nothing. This Anthony Richardson. I'm just saying, but his upside, he can do the things that you project just better. He'll be able to throw it further. He'll be able to run around the edge more. He's bigger, So if you love Shedeur, but you don't really need a backup, I can see swinging for the fence.
That's what I would do. That's what I would do. And if you're wrong, then if you're a quarterback needy team and you take Shedeur and he doesn't work out, you're not going to be excited that you drafted a backup quarterback. Right. At least the best thing you can do if you don't have the right guy is know early.
So
you know what I mean?
Fail fast, absolutely. I think Cleveland's going to draft him.
I think so too.
I just think that this has worked out for them. I think they're excited that the fact that they're going to have him available in their wildest dreams. I think that if you'd have told them that they'd have had a Dart or a Shedeur, they'd have said we played our cards perfectly.
Although, I mean, this whole Deshaun Watson thing is still looming, and they still owe that dude a ton of money.
Even more reason to have a rookie quarterback. Even more reason to.
But again, if you've got to have a rookie quarterback, do you want the Milroe who's got more upside? And
that's why I think it's Shedeur for the very reason we're talking about. He's just more ready today. He's just more ready to step out there and play quarterback. Well, Milroe won't be. That's the only difference.
Because your alternative is Mason Rudolph, and nobody wants to see nobody wants to see Mason Rudolph start in the NFL. That's a disaster. All right, we'll take a look at the end of the first round on the other side, and then we'll start looking forward to today. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-230-2777. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-230-2777. That's 800-230-2777. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. 800-230-2777.
Take advantage of pre-tariff pricing during Truck Month at North Park Chevrolet. Get 2.9% financing for 72 months on new Silverado 1500s. A new Colorado Crew Cab posted at $29,999. $5,000 off MSRP on a new Equinox. 4.8% financing for 84 months on new Tahoes and Suburbans. Together, let's drive at North Park Chevrolet. 10 minutes outside Loop 410 in Castroville or at npchevy.com.
Must qualify. Call 830-355-2107 for full price and offer details.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collisions since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney, an attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SAND25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SAND25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SAND25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Missions fans, get ready for AARP $2 Tuesdays at Wolf Stadium, presented by San Antonio Sports Star. Enjoy $2 tickets, beer, hot dogs, and more. This Tuesday, first pitch at 7:05 p.m. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at samissions.com.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle here for the Golf Club of Texas. I absolutely love the Golf Club of Texas. They've made so many improvements to the golf course, from brand new cart paths to resodding the greens and fairways. You might think it's a private club, but it's not. It's open to the public 7 days a week. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, you know where it is, right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
My wife's maiden name is Ween. So all three of her sisters, they were all Wiener growing up. That was always their nickname.
Did everybody call her Wiener?
Everybody. Think about what her dad, Bob Ween, went through.
That's hilarious.
Just glad his name wasn't Richard.
Yeah.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
Yay, yay! Uh-huh, uh-huh. Brr, brr. We be clubbing. Brr. Yeah. We be clubbing. Homies don't know how to act. In the club, baby.
We the max.
Daughter doing things you don't think she oughta. Your daughter does some things you don't think she oughta, Vic.
Yeah, that's right. I just don't want to know.
I think like most fathers, I'd rather not.
Yeah, lucky for Rob and I, we don't have to worry about our daughters doing stuff.
We just have to deal with the ramifications of such things.
Yeah, they be clubbing though. They be clubbing.
They be clubbing.
Oh, I remember this. This is on a soundtrack, right?
Yeah.
What was the soundtrack?
Players Club?
Players Club, that's what it was, yeah. Yay, yay!
What was her name? Diamond?
Yeah.
Didn't see it, but I know what Diamond did.
Yeah.
I don't need much more.
I think Ice Cube, one of the most underrated rappers of all time. Hard as hell, and it's hard to imagine now because he did the image switch thing, kind of like Snoop Dogg did.
Yeah.
Where he became like family friendly.
No, I'll tell you, Ice Cube still feels to me like he's packing. I still think he's got some thug in him. To this day, no, I have complete respect for Cube. He didn't leave the streets. I still feel like he's.
Yeah,
he didn't go. Snoop's gone corporate.
When he did
Snoop's doing Skechers commercials.
What's the show? The movie he did where he's like doing family road trips or whatever.
I saw that one.
It's like
or the one with Kevin Hart.
I don't know, man. There's something to.
No, there's still an edge to it.
Changed his image, but Ice Cube.
I wouldn't want to make him mad. I know that.
There was a time where Ice Cube was like the hardest dude. I was like, man, Ice Cube's a bad mother ever.
Still to this day, I feel like he might give me that glance like, uh-oh.
Then he started making family comedies and
still.
Well, and also I met Ice Cube, and when he was doing promotion for the Big Three. Mm-hmm. And Ice Cube is he's a short, chubby guy.
Doughy. He's a doughy little dude.
You know, it's like
still feel like there's a Glock sticking somewhere.
Maybe so.
Right.
Yeah, he's packing somewhere. He's something.
But Cube could throw down the lyrics.
Yeah.
And I liked his cadence, it's like he's yelling at you. Like, yeah.
And
for
you can picture his angry face as he's doing it. Yeah.
I like that, man. I like
Good
that.
Stuff.
Remember,
kid looks just like him.
Who he does? Remember the West Side Connection? Bow down.
Oh yeah.
I like that too. I like that version of Cube. Cube's had like 4 careers, and I like them all. I guess he doesn't even make music anymore.
Nah, I don't need to.
It'd probably sound like Will Smith now. That'd bum me out. I don't want that.
Vanilla.
I don't want that.
Yeah, we don't want a vanilla Ice Cube.
I don't want Ice Cube that's safe for white kids. I want
too late.
I want to be in trouble when they find my Ice Cube take. When they're like, why does this tape say America's with 3 K's on it? What are you doing with this in your room?
Yeah, my mom didn't like that I had an NWA record back in the day.
Why does this cassette say the N-word on it? Are you listening to this? There's I'm hearing a lot of N-words coming from your boom box.
Yeah, there was a few dirty versions on there, yeah.
And I'd say, yeah, Yeah, I am listening to that. What's it to you, mother F?
Did you have 2 Live Crew underneath your bed?
I wasn't a 2 Live Crew guy. That was a little before my time.
See, that was our version.
I did.
2 Live was our version of it.
Yeah.
Of that. Like, you had that.
Yeah, the We Want Some thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was my freshman year, I believe it came out.
I did get in trouble when it was by my stepmom, so it didn't really. I got in trouble by my stepmom for everything. She was always looking to get me in trouble.
That don't matter.
But for having she like showed it to my dad, like my dad would give a damn when I had the Chronic. And it had the leaf on it.
Yeah.
And it was like
that's iconic.
It's like, what do you know what your son's doing?
Let's go watch Cheech and Chong, Mom.
Please.
Yeah. We'll sit down and watch some
I do
Cheech
what
and
I
Chong.
want. I do what I want. My dad said, "Don't do drugs."
As long as it's not Norwegian death metal, I'm okay.
Oh.
Is there a penis shooting fire on the album cover?
We can only hope.
I'm good. All right.
We can only hope. NFL draft. We continued on after the Giants took Jackson Dart. James Pierce went to Atlanta, and that was a weird thing because Atlanta moved up into the 26th spot from the Rams. The Falcons had already picked once at 15, and at 26 they went up and took James Pierce, which I like James Pierce. Don't get me wrong.
One of the better presidents.
Yes. No, that was Franklin Pierce.
Oh, that's right.
But James Pierce is solid pass rusher. I think he's going to be a good player.
But look what they did to the Rams. They gave the Rams next year's draft pick.
Yeah. They traded. So this is a draft class that's looked at as relatively weak. So you traded the 26th pick in a relatively weak class for what is likely to be a much better than 26th pick in next year's class, which will presumably be better than this year's. I don't get it for the Falcons, but I guess they get the guy that they like, and maybe it's a bit of an all-in push, like drafting 2 guys this year and saying we're making like it's a way of saying we're getting 2 guys.
Well, Cousins is going to bring some draft picks. If and when they trade Cousins, those draft picks come back. They'll get some more back. I think
much.
That's I just think they're banking on
because
we're not going to get a lot of talent. We're going to get somebody who's willing to pay him and future consideration.
I think the future considerations are more likely to come if the Falcons eat the money.
Well, they're going to have to eat half of it.
So
they're going to have to eat half. We know what the precedent
high
is.
Picks.
Well, no, they're going to get some picks back. I think is in their mind. They're thinking, well, when we get them done,
but not
there's
a first.
There's a 4th and a 5th in there that they're thinking they're going to chase.
Ravens go Malachi Starks. They pair him with. I mean, this is going to be one of the better. He and Kyle Hamilton, one of the better safety duos in the league, probably. Which of course the Ravens have.
Ed Reed stands tall in Baltimore.
And I was kind of pissed that the Ravens took him. Like I wanted the Bills to get Malachi Starks. I was like, as he started to fall. But also, then it was like Will Johnson was falling, the Michigan corner, and I was like, ooh.
See, I like
and
Will
then he
Johnson.
goes into round 2.
Everybody's
the crying about his knee.
Safety is a luxury for good teams. You don't draft a safety in the first round unless you're already – like Buffalo has every right to go draft a safety. Go draft – I'll even say Baltimore has every right to go draft the safety because that's a position that is highly functional, if not overly productive. You know, you're not going to get a lot of numbers coming from your safety. He fills a need, and great teams have them, and bad teams don't. Average teams overpay for them. And that's whenever I see a safety get drafted high, I have to see the team he's landing on. Or, to me, it's an overvalued pick.
Okay. I don't know, man. I think some of these guys can be real impact guys.
They're luxury. But if you're having to worry about your safety, it tells me – either your front 7 is terrible or your corners are terrible if you're going that high. So you're trying to get some back-end protection. Or you've already pretty solid where you are, and this would be the best dude to really kind of push your defense over. And when I look at Baltimore, I go, yeah, I get that. I get getting a safety. Most teams should not draft a safety in the first round.
Yeah, this is the second year in a row that the Ravens have gone secondary. They took Nate Wiggins, the corner out of Clemson last year, and then again going back to Kyle Hamilton. It's been they've really focused on that position in the draft. And you know what?
It's in their DNA, man.
Who are we to judge how the Ravens draft?
Well,
they seem to be usually pretty damn good at it.
The Cowboys on running back and Green Bay with a wide receiver. Baltimore always has strong back end help?
The last time a safety did go in round one was 2022. None went first round last year, but Kyle Hamilton went 14. He's obviously an all-pro, I believe. And then two more safeties went 31 and 32 that year. Dexton Hill, 3 from Michigan, went to Cincinnati, and 32. Lewis Seen went 32 to the Georgia safety, went in that draft as well. So you're right. It is sort of maybe a luxury pick, but again, I don't question what the Ravens do on draft day.
No.
Whoever the Ravens draft, I usually assume the guy's going to be able to play. 28, the Lions take Tyleik Williams, the defensive tackle from Ohio State. Not a guy I heard a lot about, not a lot of buzz about, but run stopper, that's probably the weakness of the Lions, so they figure they're going to address that. Commanders at 29 took Josh Connerly, an offensive tackle, which I think is very smart. Protect Jaden Daniels at all costs. There were a lot of people saying get a running back. It feels like your running game is going to be Jaden Daniels, and anything else you get is fine. But I like that pick for the Commanders. It feels like the Commanders, it's funny, from going from like an organization that I felt like was always going to do the wrong thing. You talk about an image change, or like at least a perception change on my end anyway. The Commanders don't feel like a dummy organization anymore.
What shocked me is, Dan Quinn is a very unique defensive coordinator type. He likes a very specific style of defense and a very specific style of defender. The Cowboys are full of them. He likes those 6'3", 225, small linebacker, big safety dudes that can plug a hole, can cover if they have to, but fly to the ball, make some turnovers after contact, those kind of things. And normally he drafts those dudes. And for him to step back and not get a culture dude that really fits his mentality and let the offense go get an offensive lineman, that was a big internal move, I thought. I really felt like at that place, they're going to go get like that safety, like the kid that went before. That would be the kind of move I'd expect from a Dan Quinn-led team. But no, they went offensive line help to protect that golden goose. Well moved. Good move.
Bills go 30, and I thought Will Johnson was going to be the pick there. They ended up taking Maxwell Hairston, the corner from Kentucky. The guy ran a 4.2. They fell in love with the speed a little bit, which I'm not crazy about. But I guess I don't know the medicals. Everybody was saying Will Johnson's medicals were bad, but it felt like this was like a slam dunk top 10 pick, and then people started talking about his knee. Maybe that's the deal. But if Will Johnson's healthy, then I think that there's going to be a lot of teams regret passing on him, because I thought he was the best corner in this draft, quite frankly.
You're successful in the SEC, you should be good. The knee is scary.
Yeah,
we'll
or the
just
Big
leave
Ten.
it there. Yeah, or I'm sorry, in the Big Ten. But the knee is scary.
Then the random thing that happened for the Eagles traded up from 32 to 31, which, first of all, I always say don't help the Kansas City Chiefs. So it was good that they at least moved in front of Kansas City. And they take Jahad Campbell, the linebacker from Alabama. But it was weird that they moved up. Like, they must have felt like Kansas City wanted the guy, and it was like, hey, do you really want him? Okay, what if we give you this? Like, do you still want him, or is this good enough for us to get him? They must have had some sort of vibe that they were going to take their guy, because they gave up a 5th-round pick. It's a 5th-round pick.
That matters, man.
But they give up a 5th-round pick to move up one spot
over a team that everybody felt was going offense.
Yeah, I didn't expect the Eagles to go after a linebacker, the Chiefs to go after a linebacker. But the Chiefs then take Josh Simmons, the offensive tackle from Ohio State, and thus we wrap up round 1. I want to spend some time on the Cowboys on the other side. We'll hear some sound from Schottenheimer. We'll hear some sound from Jerry. Jerry's real excited.
Got some deals in the works.
Hey, I love what I'm seeing from this Tyler Booker. We looked at all the options that we had, and we decided this was the best option. And
did you say War Day?
Remember, this is my team. I'm not going to let anybody tell me what to do.
He's good at what he does. He'll tell you.
That's right, baby.
Yeah, he's proven himself.
So we'll hear from Jerry on the other side. I'll also give away a San Antonio Sports Star Fiesta medal. I'm going to do that in the 7 o'clock hour today, because I've been doing it
later. Did you get your disbursement yesterday?
No, I'm getting it today.
Oh, okay,
I'm getting my.
We get our disbursement.
We're getting medals and tickets today, event tickets. So that way Rob and I can just walk around Fiesta wherever we want. No one's going to say, "Hey, sir, where's your ticket?" We're going to go.
Yeah.
All right, first of all,
I'm famous.
we're kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
I don't want to, but we're kind of a big deal.
Let me tell you about the Morning Huddle.
You know who I am.
We're a big deal.
Yeah.
Around my house, there's no more listened to show. It's #1 rated up there on Vista Verde.
Yeah. So we'll do that next. It is the Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Your commute starting to fill in. Southeast side, 410 southbound at 37. That's a stall that's off to the shoulder. Stalled 18-wheeler, I-10 on the frontage road westbound. It's going to be right at South WWY. Definitely slowing down on 90 eastbound, 211 to 410. And this road work on 35 southbound, Tupperwine on down to Judson Road. That's got the road rate reduced to one lane. It's causing about a 22-minute travel time. Stop and go from Schertz Parkway. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off. Free UPS shipping and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
It's time for the herd you love. It's time for professional spring football. Your San Antonio Brahmas are back, bringing you more of the action, the celebration, and the unforgettable moments you love. Join us for the Viva Fiesta Viva Brahmas home opener this Sunday, April 27th at 2 p.m. Bring the energy to the Alamo Dome as your San Antonio Brahmas take on the Houston Roughnecks. Get your tickets today at UFLBrahmas.com. That's UFLBrahmas.com for tickets. Our town, our team, our herd.
If you're looking to up your beer game, Karbach has you covered. From Hopadillo to Crawfordbach to Ziegenbach to their best seller, the Love Street, there's something for everybody in the lineup, and you can find it anywhere. Next time you're out and about, ask your bartender to make it a Karbach.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are filed by women? She's already thinking about it. I urge you, do not get caught off guard. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates. Divorce is tough, but it's up to you to take control and avoid your spouse from dictating the terms. At Barton & Associates, this isn't just about getting through the process. It's about securing your assets, safeguarding what you've worked hard for, and avoiding unnecessary losses. Visit TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Jessica, what's on your mind?
Hey, CBD is good stuff, man. I'm chiefing all the time. They call me Chief because I'm smoking so much. Like a choo-choo train.
Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Jessica, Chief Choo-Choo.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
I can't sleep.
What is it now?
It's the company. It's chaos.
What's chaos now?
The numbers, the expenses, the books. What if we get audited?
No one's gonna audit you at 3 a.m. Go to sleep.
I can't sleep.
You could if you used Ramp.
Who said that?
I don't care because they're right. Go to sleep and sign up for Ramp in the morning, Jerry.
Ramp is the corporate card that handles all your tedious financial operations automatically, integrates directly with your ERP, and gives you complete control over every transaction. Ramp gives you everything you need for bulletproof books and a better night's sleep.
Wow, that is exactly what my company needs.
Yes, and exactly what I also need. Go to sleep, Jerry.
Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
May I help you? I just wanted to request a late checkout, please.
Of course. That's $30 per hour for up to 4 hours.
Huh. Okay, but if you can offer a late checkout, then that probably means no one is staying in that room. So if it's empty, maybe I can just stay a few extra hours.
Oh, aren't you adorable?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Listen up, Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. So let's do it again and get vaccinated. We're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults under 50. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit vaxassist.com to schedule. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Guys over 40, tired of feeling tired? Testosterone therapy by Synergenics is the answer. This April, the consultation is free. Treatment covered by most major insurance. Don't wait for online meds. Walk into their clinic, see a provider, feel great today. Book now at fixmylowt.com.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, the first round of the NFL Draft is in the books. We're going to react to that Cowboys pick.
And that Cowboys pick will be on The Blitz at some point this afternoon, and we'll get all the reaction from John Machota from The Athletic.
And now we'll look ahead to rounds 2 and 3. What are the moves about to be made?
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. The NFL lives right here. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's
8-4.
There you go.
Let's put your cardboard down.
Yeah. It's Fiesta week, buddy.
How much breakdancing did you do, Vic? Did you ever spin on your neck?
Yeah. I had a handcuff belt and everything.
Did you go buy a Chess King to pick up your pants?
I had parachute pants. Had a bandana wrapped around my legs.
You had to.
What else?
We had to have your cardboard or your rolled up linoleum.
I had a Rising Star bandana.
What kind of did you have an earring?
Yes, a shrimp earring. Remember the shrimp
earring?
earring?
You had the shrimp. You didn't have a lightning bolt. You had a shrimp.
It was a shrimp.
I'm down.
See, what else did I have?
Did you have an earring when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I did.
Yeah, which ear was it on? Which ear was it on?
Left ear cavalier.
Yeah, that's right.
I had both.
You had both? Well, I had both, not till the military. But
yeah, I was of the era where it was. I remember when I was little, they would say if you had one in the right ear.
Yeah, left ear cavalier, right ear.
Yeah.
In the rear is what they would say.
Yeah.
I didn't go there, but yeah.
That's what they would say. But
that's what scared me into going into the left
Times
ear.
have changed.
But that's why I got them in both ears, because I just wanted to keep my options open. I hadn't decided yet. Hadn't decided what I was into.
You hadn't been drafted, hadn't chosen a team.
Nope.
Yeah,
nope.
you haven't chosen
I was
a
a free
team
agent.
You didn't. If you're that far on, you haven't chosen a team. I know what team you're on.
Yeah.
If you don't choose, I kind of know what team you're on.
Actually, It'll be chosen for you.
By the time I got my ears pierced, I was 16 and I was firmly established on what team I was on.
Okay.
So I was I felt okay about it.
Neither team's a bad team. I'm just
Yeah,
saying, you kind of got to
play for whatever team you want to play for.
If you don't outwardly say which team you're on, we all assume which team you're on.
Yeah,
just saying.
If you reach a certain age and you're still thinking about it,
it's a good team. There's nothing wrong with that team.
Or maybe you're on both teams.
Well, you can't be on both teams.
I know people who are.
I know that, but I don't trust it. I don't trust them.
You're old school. You're like, hey, you're either in or you're out.
Pick a team. I'm not saying like I said, no team's better than the other. Just pick one.
There's more than 2 teams now.
You shouldn't want to play with everybody.
I know.
There's teams we don't even understand,
You don't
Rob.
want to play. You shouldn't want to play with everybody in the room.
There's teams we don't even understand because there's genders we don't even understand.
I know.
It's not fair to the rest of us. Pick one.
Well,
Pick one.
I only have sex with costumed characters.
That's fine. That's fine.
A cosplay.
Male,
go
female.
ahead, man.
I never know what
You
they
live
are
that
because
fluffy
they're
lifestyle,
all.
that's fine,
No,
man.
it's furry, not fluffy.
Fine, furry.
Come on.
You can be flurry and fluffy.
I guess you could.
Furries.
I promise you talk about the Dallas Cowboys, and here's Coach Shoddy talking about what sold the Cowboys on Booker as their first-round pick.
Yeah, I think when you looked at it, we were, number one, thrilled about the young man, the power, the strength. When you sit down and you visit with this guy, he's an alpha. He knows what he wants. He knows how good he is. He knows how talented he is. And I think you look at what you got with Tyler Smith at left guard, Cooper Beebe, and now you add this guy. The interior of your pocket, the core of your run game, all that stuff inside. We want to move people, and we want to own the line of scrimmage, and this is the guy that gives us a chance to do that with the pieces we have in place.
I mean,
he's an alpha.
He's saying Schottenheimer's saying the right things, but it's all the same things that McCarthy said. We want to run the ball, you know,
we'll see.
Everybody says we want to run the ball until you have to make the concerted decision to actually run the ball, and then it's like analytics say
we need to kind of go.
Analytics say we don't run the ball. But all the coaches say, we want to run the ball. We want to establish ourselves as a team that runs it down your throat and beats you up. But then on game day, they say, it makes more pass. We get more EPA.
But you think about what Jacksonville did. They drafted to protect their quarterback, to get the guy what they need. You look at what the Chargers did. They got a running back that in the long term will be there to protect their quarterback. The play action is going to be there for a cannon arm dude. This was to protect Dak Prescott, too. We got a guy on one leg half the season. Yeah. We're in a boot. And now at least both guards and center, you feel pretty comfortable about the gut of your offensive line to protect him as well as clear some holes. So it's a good pick. I'm just going to say I don't trust your eye right now. So if he is indeed, what do you call him, powerful and strong and an alpha, if he's all those things, world-class pick. Congratulations, you did it. If not.
They also asked Schottenheimer because, again, I think that I believe that had the right tackle been available, the right tackle.
The right tackle.
The tackle that they coveted.
Correct. The answer tackle.
A tackle that they coveted had been available. I think they would have considered making a play for one. And they asked him if there was any consideration about shifting Tyler Guyton off of the left tackle spot.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, we're going to play our best five. But right now, we have all the confidence in the world that Tyler Guyton, going into year two, is going to take the steps that most young players take. And so, but at the end of the day, we're going to play our best five guys on offense. Our best 11 are going to play, and that's the football team. And again, it's not just a word. You have to compete every day to get better, and you have to compete every day to show your teammates that it's important to you. And again, we talk all the time. We want world-class competitors. And when you add a guy like this, Tyler Booker, that is a world-class competitor, he makes everybody around him better with the way he practices, the way he talks, his confidence. And as a coach, that gets you really excited.
I don't think he likes Tyler Guyton. I think he was talking directly to him when he said what he said. That's directly to his left tackle. You're going to have to come to work, baby.
I mean,
that wasn't a ringing endorsement. When you go, how's your left tackle? You happy with him? Well, I can tell you this. Best 11 are going to start.
Yeah.
He didn't say, Guyton's great, man. This dude has been working. What are you talking about? I had no question about my comfort level with left tackle. No, he said my left tackle, my number one draft pick last year, has to practice every day and come to work.
Well, let's face it. Tyler, of the 81 tackles that played last year, Tyler Guyton graded number 73 on PFF.
He was thrown to the wolves. In his first 4 or 5 weeks, he was going against NFL type, all NFL. So I will give him a break. But, man, it wasn't the ringing endorsement I would have liked to have heard. So maybe they're not done at left tackle.
Honestly, I would hope not. I would hope that they at least bring in someone to push because worst case scenario, if Tyler Guyton becomes your right tackle, that's not necessarily a bust. Like if the guy becomes a starter on the right side of the ball, okay, cool. As long as you get somebody who can play on the left side.
And we talk a lot about how important it is to start your season or put your team together with a rookie quarterback because of the dollars. Well, your left tackle quantifies in the same way. The second highest paid player in most teams is your left tackle.
Yeah.
And if you can get a rookie or a good young left tackle and not have to pay him that kind of money, you get the same kind of effect. Not quite as much as the dollars, but there is such a compounded savings when you have a low-paid left tackle and a lower-paid quarterback.
For just to show the difference between where the top-tier guys are and the bottom-tier guys, the Philadelphia Eagles, who had the best offensive line in football, their tackles graded 1 and 5 out of 81, whereas the Cowboys' 2 starting tackles graded 43rd and 73rd out of 81. There's a pretty big gap there.
I would have thought that would have been a playoff team with that kind of expert level play. And for the Cowboys, we're just not accustomed to that. Left tackle has been pretty safe for about 30 years. I mean, there's been nothing but Hall of Famers playing over there for a long time.
You're right.
And to have a line that looked like that, yes, there's a lot of help required.
But that's why it's weird that it's not. I mean, I guess I say they're not addressing it. They used a first-round pick last year.
But you get the sense that if there was a tackle that had fallen to them, it would have been the tackle. I'm just saying. And they would have gotten to the right side and eliminated 2 problems with 1 move.
Yeah. But I think that because Kelvin Banks went right before they picked, it left them in a spot where either they were going to take an interior lineman or they were going to reach on a tackle that, the next tackle didn't go until 29. So, and there was an early run on him because Will Campbell went early, Armand Mimbo went early, and then Kelvin Banks, 3 in the top 10 meant that the Cowboys had to maybe adjust their game plan a little bit. But what this tells me is, and I believe this, even if Tet McMillan would have been there, I think the Cowboys were still looking at offensive line.
I'd like to think so. But I wouldn't
Although
have been
Micah
mad.
Parsons was like, that was supposed to be our pick.
I wouldn't have been mad at Tet. I wouldn't have. But we got closer and closer, it looked to me, other than Travis Hunter, and obviously, that he was the best other. And if they'd have gotten him, it wouldn't have surprised me, Texas kid, if he had graded well, but evidently he did not. So offensive line was safe, good pick.
Josh says Tyler Guyton's going to start this year, but probably on thin ice.
Yes.
They will draft Steele's replacement today, and he will be a camp cut.
It's possible.
It is possible. I do think they probably go off it. My guess is we see 2 more offensive players taken today. I think lineman, receiver, running back. I'm not sure which 2 get taken today, but I think 2 of those 3 go today. And then tomorrow they address the other one and start working on their defense.
And I think whatever position you're talking about, they'll have 2 of them by the end of the draft.
By the end of the draft, I agree. All right. Jared. First of all, let's hear from Jared talking about the trade, because remember I was saying
a bunch of things in the works, baby.
Yeah, so let's hear Jared talking about why how deep they dug on that trade.
We had exhausted the complete possibilities in trade. We had finality of it, and we still had 2 or 3 minutes left on the phone. We didn't. The trade did not work for us. We did not want to make the trade, and we immediately knew when we got through that we would make the pick. And so, yes, real possibilities right up until 2 minutes before the bell rang.
No, we had hard offers for the pick, and unless it was the pick because we liked our player, unless it was a really significant trade, then we were going to pass.
I like how he had to butt in.
No, they were really hard.
Daddy's talking here, son.
We are liked by a variety of people in the greater Niagara Falls area. We had offers. We'll never tell you who they were from.
Hard offers.
Hard, good offers.
Hard offers.
I do think that there were. I get it. That was a good position to be in, but I don't think Jerry, for the PR side of things, if he was going to trade down, he better have brought a haul.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
I don't
so
think
too.
they could have probably made a deal that most teams would have been happy with. But Jerry's in a situation right now where he needs to keep his fans at least involved, if not impressed.
I will give my prediction for what the Cowboys do with this next pick, the next pick that they've got coming up, which is 44. I have a good. I'm not a seer, but I have a good idea. So that's what we're going to do in the next segment. I'm going to give my prediction on the player. Right now, though, I'm going to give away a Fiesta medal. I'm going to give away a San Antonio Sports Star Fiesta medal. It is going to be you're going to be the belle of the ball when you're wearing this thing. Let me tell you, there's not a lot of them. It's a limited edition, and if you get one, you need to shove it in people's faces and tell them that, hey, I got one of these and you don't. You're a loser, and I'm a winner. All you got to do is, you know what? Let's give it to the Brigade Bar. We haven't given one to the Brigade Bar yet, have we?
No, I haven't given anything to the Brigade Bar lately.
First person in the Brigade Bar who will name the album that my stepmom tried to get me in trouble for with my dad when I was a kid. I talked about that last segment. You're the first person to put it in the Brigade Bar. You'll win one of those Fiesta medals. Simple as that. We'll be back. I'm going to give you my prediction on who the Cowboys take today. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle here for the Golf Club of Texas. I absolutely love the Golf Club of Texas. They've made so many improvements to the golf course, from brand new cart paths to resodding the greens and fairways. You might think it's a private club, but it's not. It's open to the public 7 days a week. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, you know where it is, right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Exclusive sponsor of Fiesta San Antonio, Gomez Law Firm encourages you to enjoy Fiesta responsibly. For more than 50 years, attorney Joe A. Gomez has been helping victims seriously injured in car and trucking accidents. If you've been injured in a car or trucking accident, hire personal injury attorney Joe Gomez. Born and raised right here in San Antonio. Visit joegomezlaw.com or call 210-736-4040 for a free consultation. Gomez Law fights. Gomez Law cares. Viva Fiesta.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-334-2266. That's 800-334-2266. 800-334-2266.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Listen up, Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. So let's do it again and get vaccinated. We're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults under 50. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit vaxassist.com to schedule. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Cinco de Mayo is near, and the celebration starts at Total Wine & More, your cocktail central. Whether you're shaking up fresh margaritas, sipping on a crisp cerveza, or savoring a smooth tequila, Total Wine is your Fiesta celebration destination. So stop by your local Total Wine & More and make this Cinco de Mayo the best one yet. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Hey, listen up, San Antonio. Multiple tours overseas, long nights monitoring cyber activity, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training. We call that credit where credit is due. Whether you're active duty and looking at what's next, or a veteran looking for something new, Our degrees and certificate programs teach the application of emerging technologies and enduring life skills. So get started on a degree or certificate with personalized local support services and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. At UMGC, you'll find everything from online to hybrid courses and lifetime career services to scholarship opportunities, making your education journey flexible, fast, and affordable. Apply now and save with no application fee through May 30th. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news and stats to placing bets in just a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code JOEQ to get started today. That's JOEQ, Joe Q. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Still working the accident at I-10 westbound Houston Street. Delay started FM 1516, so about a 6-8 minute delay. 410 eastbound Callahan. That stall's been moved off a main lane off to the shoulder. Still causing a little bit of a delay from Ingram. And they just cleared that stall at 410 westbound Jackson Keller. Now, if you guys see something we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line. We'll check it out. That number 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
At least it went as expected for pick number 1. Cam Ward, formerly of Incarnate Word, currently of the Tennessee Titans, went number 1 overall in the NFL draft. The Cowboys added front line depth with guard Tyler Booker from Alabama with their number 12 picks. In the NBA, the Thunder came from 29 points down, the biggest playoff comeback in NBA history, 108-104. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This Sports Center update brought to you by Twin Peaks.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
8:01 on the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. AJ and Rob getting you through on a Friday. Yay! What a day. Day! Friday! Oh, man. What a weekend it's going to be.
Fiesta, man. We got 10 days of weekend headed our way. Interspersed with lackadaisical activity at work.
I've got to go. I got to go to Houston today.
Oh yeah, what's going on there?
I'm working some fights there. I do the.
Nice.
My buddy runs a fight promotion, and he.
A fight club.
Well, yes, yeah, but they.
This one you get to talk about.
Yeah, like it's a legal fight club, a sanctioned fight club.
Okay.
And I do the broadcast. I'm on the broadcast team for their pay-per-views. They do like internet pay-per-view.
Is it in a basement somewhere?
No, it's in like a
an actual venue.
It's in an arena, like a smallish arena,
sportatorium.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, an event center.
There you go, event center.
That's the way I guess they look at it.
It's not a cage fight, and they have barbed wire.
No,
around
there's a regular cage.
This is real.
It's a regular cage. No, Edward 40 Hands won't be fighting.
I know. That was funny.
What are the odds?
I know.
The day that, like 2 days after I talked about Edward 40 Hands, I found that
picture
meme.
of it, yeah.
Yeah, it's like Grandpa Simpson and says.
I laughed so hard out of nowhere when I got that.
I had never heard of that.
You've never heard of Edward 40 Hands?
No, that was past my prime. That was not a thing.
That's the best. You show up at the party, you immediately take 2 40s to your hands, and like you can't do anything until one of those 40s is gone, and then you get to get rid of one, and then you walk around till you're done with another one taped to your hand.
Because there's nothing better in this world than a warm 40 ounce of malt liquor.
Mickey's.
Just right at room temperature.
Not regular malt liquor. Mickey's fine malt liquor.
I'd rather have that than a big old boiling cup of buttermilk.
Yes.
Oh boy, that's delicious.
Well, and that's kind of the point is you got to get that you got to down that first one quickly because it's going to taste bad if you let it sit too long. So
like we pour them out for the homies. No, we pour it out because that last quarter is awful.
Edward 40 Hands it's a game. It's only for the most serious of people. Yeah. So if you playing games, don't show up.
I saw a porno roll off the Edward Scissor Hands.
Really? Was it like Edward Dildo Hands or something?
Penis hands.
Oh, penis hands. Well, I mean, I'm guessing it wasn't actual penises. It was more toys.
They looked real to me.
So they were okay. Okay. Well, I mean, maybe
it's an odd appendage, but it looked relatively real.
Whatever, man. Whatever works.
Weird birth defect that guy had.
Good for him.
Could never write a decent letter.
I mean, hey, whatever gets the job done.
Then he could.
Whatever satisfies your lady.
He could more than one.
If Edward Penis Hands was getting the job done, then good for him.
He was born for one thing.
Hey, let's give away some tickets. You want to go see the Brahmas? The San Antonio Brahmas take on the hated Houston Roughnecks.
Finally home. They played a month and haven't played a home game yet.
Oh, now this is a heated rivalry between the Brahmas and the Roughnecks.
We hate them. We just don't have our head coach in the fold, right?
That's April 27th, this Sunday, 2 p.m. in the Alamo Dome. Family 4-pack to go see the Brahmas. Let's go ahead and give it to...
So you can go to the Dome, see a football game, and when you're done, go out to the fair?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a day.
And Caller 5 is going to be able to take their whole family to that game. Caller 5, 210-656-ESPN. There you go, Bubba.
Young Pardee leading that team.
Go. Yeah. Wait, well, I'm
hey, feel better. Feel better, Coach.
Looking forward to it. Good old Wade.
Good old Wade. Hey, notice we won't have Shannon Sharp to kick around for the next.
Oh, did you see that picture I sent?
What's the latest on Shan?
He's stepping away from ESPN to deal with his personal matters. A Nevada woman who dated Sharp for a couple years has filed suit claiming rape.
No, it was a BDSM relationship.
And some other stuff. So Shannon will be stepping away from his role at
Let me tell you something, Skip. Those girls, that girl wanted it the whole time,
He will
Skip.
stop mainlining that Sharp's.
Let me tell you something, Rob. That you say rape, like this, like it was not consensual.
Yeah, she signed a paper.
Let me tell you something.
He must be concerned because he won't be coming to work.
Let me tell you something, Rob.
Evan Mobley. See,
that explains it all.
This dude started out a week ago, signing up what appears to be $100 million media deal. And a week and a half later, he's stepping away from his job.
Wow. I wonder if there was a clause in it. I wonder if there was a Deshaun Watson, Justin Tucker clause.
I would like to think there's one in just about every contract of that magnitude.
I think like they should call Justin Tucker like they should call him Justin Ucker.
But has to change his name legally to F.
God, Shannon Sharp allegedly, the accuser says that he had
he had
BDSM sex, which I believe is like the bondage, rough stuff,
just rough sex,
100 times with her. Now,
that spark stuff works.
Now, here's the thing, though. If this is
an endorsement,
if it's true,
100 times.
Now, if this is an actual rape case, one of two things had to happen. Either she was like tied up in his basement where he had access to her whenever he wanted,
right?
Or she kept coming over for this sex act.
She did keep coming over. It was once a week. Yeah, I had read it and saw something.
So how are we saying rape if it happened 100 times?
Because he signed a $100 million contract and she wants to get paid.
Oh,
that's what I think.
Well, just because you put on a zipper mask and have rough sex,
have fun with a gimp.
I'm gonna hold out my judgment on old Shannon here. I'm gonna for now give him. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, and we'll see what comes of it. Because I don't want, just because he's into weird sex stuff like Trevor Bauer, I don't want him to be railroaded.
Well, we are in a different environment this is not on a baseball team. This is a broadcast personality, and we hold them to a little bit different standard than we do to players. And we should hold everybody equally. I'm not saying, but I do think that just the whiff of this is enough to get you thrown off TV, whether it's even real or not.
Well, I mean, remember, maybe so. Remember Harold Reynolds got thrown off TV for a while for flashing his peen around.
Well, there was also what's his name, Anthony, the basketball player, Cade's father. Or Cole Anthony's father, who had some prostitution issues at a Final Four. He's back. I mean, he came back. But
jeez. I mean, even Marv Albert's back.
Yeah, Marv Albert was biting people.
Yes.
Marv
Albert's wearing panties and biting chicks.
I forgot about
his
that.
girl had teeth marks on her ass.
Yeah.
Running out of a hotel room.
Yes.
He went from way downtown. He went back to work.
Everybody has their thing.
That's why let's wait and let's hold judgment.
That's right.
Because Vic likes weird sex stuff. He's admitted it. I mean, I'm
Catholic.
I'm sort of a regular Joe, so I don't always kind of get the I'm basic.
Is that sober or buzzing?
Pretty much always. I'm like I'm not all that adventurous. But some guys are. Some guys like to put on chains and
But we don't want to know.
And gimp masks.
Night, Shannon had a gimp mask on with a ball gag going on, getting chased around. I don't want to know that, brother. Now every time I look at you, I'm like, all right, bro, what went down last night? Where'd you get that bruise?
I'm just picturing the Ocho conversation with him, like Ocho just giving him stuff about, like, come on, Shannon, man, come on.
I'm picturing.
I don't want to know. I don't see. If I know too much, I can't look at you.
I'm picturing Pulp Fiction. Bring out the gimp.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Shannon comes out in a mask, all
Shannon's
tied
all
up.
gimped up. I know everybody's got their kink, and go more power to you. I just don't need to know it. And once I do know it, sorry.
Yeah.
You can go do whatever you want. I just
ruined
don't.
It. Yeah.
I can't look at you the same way.
Zed's dead, baby.
Zed is dead.
All right. I promised you this. I teased this, and I'm going to pay off my tease.
Okay.
That's what if my boss is listening right now, that's what a true radio pro does.
Yep.
Boss, I make a tease, I pay it off. I said on the other side, I was going to give my prediction for who the Cowboys would take with the 44th pick in the draft today. Here's the name, Rob. And this is going to make Cowboy fan excited because this is a shiny toy. Travion Henderson, running back, the Ohio State University. That is who the Cowboys are taking.
I like the idea of running back. I just don't think he's the best one on that team.
You think Quinshon Judkins is better?
I liked him when he was down in the SEC. I liked him in the Big Ten. I think he's a better back. But I like the idea of running back. I disagree, though. I just don't think that they're going to go there. I think that because there's those two and another one or two that they might like, I think that they're resigned to the fact that they're going to have to do the boring stuff first.
You think so?
It feels like, they're kind of resigned.
You think another offensive lineman then?
Maybe. I think it's probably going to be defensive line or defensive help probably before they get a running back. And as a running back fiend, I like the idea. I just feel like they've resigned themselves to the fact that we got a quarterback that we're going to have to pay so much money over the next couple of years. We just got to do the safe stuff.
The problem is because there was such a run on offensive line yesterday, there's not a lot of guys left.
I don't think it's going to be offense. I do think it's going to be a defensive help. It could be line. It could be edge. It could
maybe
be
a corner.
I just think they're going to focus on the things that they know they got to fill that they can at least pencil in as cheap for the next 3 years. If these guys work, and they better, for the next 3 years, that position's covered and it's cheap.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad if they kick the tires on a defensive tackle. And I know it's, last year they didn't want to, on draft day, they didn't want to admit that Mozzie Smith was no good. I think now it's safe to say, like, Mozzie Smith just sucks. Like, we don't have to pretend anymore. And that's Shamar Turner.
I'd like to see that. I do think he's got potential.
An Aggie in the middle would maybe be T.J. Sanders out of South Carolina would be a good fit there. But there's some big bodies that could eat up some space, maybe help stop the run a little bit.
But AJ, I'm with you. I would love to see him grab a running back. It's just in my core. Just get me the best dude you can find that'll pick up and carry that ball behind that offensive guard you just picked up. That's 2 guards in 2 years you brought in. Let's use this thing.
I believe it will be. The Dallas, with the 44th pick, the Dallas Cowboys select Travion Henderson, running back, Ohio State. Now, Vic, when this happens on Monday, I want you to have the side-by-side of when I say it and then whenever – I don't know who will be announcing the picks today. It won't be Goodell anymore. He doesn't do round 2. He's not a schmuck.
It's the black dude.
Okay. Well, so when he announces it, or maybe they'll have some kid come out, like the Bills had some handicapped kid come out.
The black dude does the 4th round Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, he comes in and they speed things along.
But whenever they announce that pick, I want it to be said that AJ was right, and he is a seer.
Okay. And if we'll do 50% of this. And what happens when you're wrong?
We'll forget that I ever said anything.
No, if you want to step out and say I'm calling my shot,
Rob,
and you did.
Are we a team or are we not a team?
I'm just saying.
Are we a team or not?
If you want the benefits of stepping out there and saying, "Look at me," if you're wrong, what should be the penalty?
Well, I don't think. Because this is a long shot wager here.
No, we're doing some sort of. If you are wrong, no, it's not a long shot.
Calling the exact player.
It ain't that hard. A lot of people did.
Let's see what the
if you're wrong,
is there a number on
we're going to find out what the number is on it, what it would pay. Because if we're going to have a penalty, I got to make sure I got to get mine.
I think put some money in, you'll take it home. But if you're wrong, maybe some sort of Fiesta dish that you must eat.
Oh yeah.
How are you on snails?
I'll eat damn near.
Escargot.
I'll eat almost anything except tomatoes, olives, and eggplant.
You're pretty safe on all those.
They don't do that.
Tomatoes and the salsa.
Salsa's okay. Salsa's
Find
okay.
Something. Ever had a gordita? That's a reward. That's not a penalty.
No.
Yeah, there's no exact who will the Cowboys take odds up. So I don't know.
All right.
But I appreciate the idea. I think a lot of Cowboy fan would like that. It just felt like listening to those guys talk last night. It's just like, well,
you're right.
Damn it.
But you know what?
Yeah, we loved him. And
but now listen to Cowboy fan today going, I don't like this stupid
I'd like to think Jerry goes, all right, here's your running back.
And Jerry says, Steven, yesterday you talked me off what I wanted, and today I'm reminding you I am still the boss. And he's going to make that move. He's going to make the play. Travion Henderson.
See, I like Judkins, but I think he's going to just go, we're already boring. We're going to be boring again.
Or maybe in round 3 they're going to take Cam Scattaboo.
Well, I have a man crush on Scattaboo.
Yeah.
I didn't want to start hoping, because he's a 4th or 5th round dude, but I have a man crush on that guy.
You guys, listen, man.
Hey, keep in mind, remember that running back we interviewed last year? Yeah. The coach's kid.
Yeah.
We have a history.
Listen.
Reaching for little dudes.
White running backs.
This is not.
He ain't not the answer.
His name is Scattaboo. I don't think we can classify him as Anglo or black or
I'm
whatever.
telling you now.
Scattaboo is his own particular idiom.
Unless your name is McCaffrey.
He looks like a McCaffrey.
No, he does not.
He's
built
like
slow.
He's not slow. Ask
He's a
Texas.
hammer.
Ask those Texas defenders if he's slow.
Well,
they
don't know because he ran over them.
I'm just telling you, this cat could turn into, for about 2 or 3 years, something pretty hot. I think his body is going to implode on him the way he plays.
That's
for
Toby,
a couple of 3 years, man.
That's Toby Gerhart you're looking at right there.
You know what? Toby was always big and fast, but he was never tough. That was the thing about Gerhart. We all looked like him.
Who was the other white running back that made it for a minute? He was on. Who was the guy that was
Buccaneer kid?
He was the one that was on a cover of Madden, I think, once.
The Curse of Madden?
Oh, you're talking about from the Tampa Bay, the fullback?
No, not Allstott. Somebody in the Brigade Bar will know.
On Madden.
He was on the cover of Madden.
And it wasn't McCaffrey.
He played for Peyton Hillis. There it is. Peyton Hillis. Maybe Cam Scattaboo is Peyton Hillis.
Well, like I said, for a brief shining moment, Peyton Hillis
was
all
Is that what
that.
you want? You want a brief shining moment?
I don't want a running back. I want a running back to last me 2-3 years. That's, I'll wear him out. I'm telling you, I just feel like Scattaboo's going to be a steal.
It doesn't matter because Travion Henderson's the Cowboys pick at 44. It's going to happen. All right.
Mark the tape, man.
Mark the
Penalties
tape.
must be paid for shots called.
On the other side, we will hear from Will McClay about the Cowboys pick. And we haven't even touched on the NBA playoffs today. We got a lot to talk about. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
When you switch to Progressive and bundle your home and auto, you could save hundreds, and that's a surprising amount of money.
Whoa, that's like farmer's market money.
That's like give me a gallon of that locally sourced raw honey money.
That's certified organic heirloom tomatoes in every imaginable color except red money.
That's let's get 2 pounds of pink oyster mushrooms money. I'm not even sure I like pink oyster mushrooms.
Guess it's time to find out, because you could save hundreds when you switch to Progressive and bundle. Then the world is your pink oyster mushroom. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District understands that keeping your child safe is your top priority. Vaccines are safe and can help your child's immune system fight harmful germs. They protect against serious diseases and can even save lives. Because when it comes to your child's health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. Learn more at sa.gov/health. sa.gov/health.
Big cash giveaway, yeah. $250,000, yes. The next 10 months, GimmeTheVin.com is giving back. Everyone that sells us their car gets put in the drawing, and monthly we're pulling out $25,000 and giving it to you. So, not only are we the top of the market buyer, but you got a chance to win $25,000. That's what we mean by big cash giveaway. GiveMeTheVin.com. They don't call us America's best car buyer for nothing.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been, because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this: the insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job: pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or my website, alawyerforus.com.
I can't sleep.
What is it now?
It's the company. It's chaos.
What's chaos now?
The numbers, the expenses, the books. What if we get audited?
No one's gonna audit you at 3 a.m. Go to sleep.
I can't sleep.
You could if you used Ramp.
Who said that?
I don't care because they're right. Go to sleep and sign up for Ramp in the morning, Jerry.
Ramp is the corporate card that handles all your tedious financial operations automatically, integrates directly with your ERP, and gives you complete control over every transaction. Ramp gives you everything you need for bulletproof books and a better night's sleep.
Wow, that is exactly what my company needs.
Yes, and exactly what I also need. Go to sleep, Jerry.
Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
We've got trade wars, rising costs, global chaos, and a skyrocketing national debt. It's no wonder gold keeps hitting record highs. With everything going on in the world, thousands of hardworking Americans are looking to help diversify their savings with precious metals like gold and silver. And they're turning to the top-rated gold company, Goldco. Right now, Goldco is offering you a free 2025 gold and silver kit. Plus, you could get an unlimited instant match and bonus silver if you qualify. Find out how you can diversify your savings, tax and penalty-free today. Call 855-969-GOLD. That's 855-969-GOLD. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, the first round of the NFL Draft is in the books. We're going to react to that Cowboys pick.
And that Cowboys pick will be on The Blitz at some point this afternoon, and we'll get all the reaction from John Machota from The Athletic.
And now we'll look ahead to rounds 2 and 3. What are the moves about to be made?
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Looking forward to the weekend, Friday, getting down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend, partying.
Yeah!
Tell them, Vic. Fun. Looking forward to the weekend. This is the Fiesta version.
Yeah.
Fun. I'm thinking of Joe's face when I was singing. He's just like,
oh yeah. That was funny. His face was.
Now you know it. Joe's like, how do you know the words to all these songs?
Any genre.
He's like, you need to. He's like, you need to find a hobby.
That was it.
Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Yeah, yesterday we found out that the Backstreet Boys are playing the Sphere.
Oh
wow. That's the next
I'm not
the
sure
next residency.
They're the artist that's going to really
Tell me
unleash
why.
the potential
What?
of the Backstreet's all right, but there's eventually going to be somebody.
Backstreet's back. All right, is what you mean.
Yeah, well.
Backstreet's back. All right. Dun 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 dun. Oh my God, we're back again.
I don't know why Joe was upset.
I don't either. I mean, we're just having a good time.
I'm sure he wasn't.
We're just having a good
for all of
time. I sang him a little "Hot for Teacher."
I
I
don't think
think.
a
What
lot
else
of
did I
people-
sing? What did I sing to Joe yesterday? I serenaded him with some stuff.
I can't remember.
It's been a while.
Yeah, anything I played, really.
Yeah.
You just knew the words.
Well, he wasn't playing Rob songs, so I knew all the words to everything. So he wasn't playing like Depeche Mode and stuff like that.
I'm pretty sure Joe's not familiar with the Depeche Mode. So I think you're.
Did you see this? Kelvin Banks. I assume that's his baby mama sitting next to him. She started clapping while holding their baby, and the baby got jostled enough to where it puked everywhere.
I did not see this.
And no one was paying attention. They're all looking at Kelvin. He's like, very excited. That baby's just like,
Wow. That's about right.
Parenting at its best.
Yep. Yeah. Anybody smell baby puke? Where the hell that's coming from?
That's breast milk.
Yeah. Will McClay. They talked to him about the pick and how he feels about Mr. Booker.
And the other thing that's interesting, Coach mentioned Zach. Well, I went back and looked at him. I was talking to Steven. Our grades are very similar to what we had to Zach. And then some of the character traits. There's a lot of things that are very similar. He's his own individual, but he's a grown-ass man like Zach is. And so you put someone in there that makes us a stronger, more physical team.
I mean, again, everybody talks about being more physical until the games start. I want to see it. I'd like to believe that everybody wants to be more physical, but more teams are going away from that. And then they asked Will, where are you guys looking at going into day 2?
There's good football players all over the board still, and that's why you have the draft and you were going through. And the best part of the way the draft is set up now, you got another day to get ready ahead of time and go through your strategy and go and look at things like that. But there's a lot of good football players there, and we have needs, and there's players that can fill it.
We have more than 12 players that would be worthy of that pick, and we're 12 back, so we should get a good player.
Good player.
Jeez.
Yeah. What the heck? Just a little lung cancer, nothing to worry about. I'd clear that out if I were him. Is that Steven?
Right? Just cough it
Is that old Steve? That was a.
It was. That sounded like Steven had a night like I did the night before.
He might want to
kicking around. It was his crew kicking around possibilities.
Yeah.
He might want to hack one out
with a cigar and some Johnny Walker Blue, just having an evening.
One guy that is still available, and if he's around when the Cowboys pick, I wouldn't hate the idea of it, is Luther Burden III.
Okay, so he's as much like Tet was. He's the big dude that
he's about 6 foot. I mean, he's not a giant.
He's a go up and get him kind of guy. I like those two. If you're looking for a wide receiver too, don't you want the big physical dude? Isn't that the prototype?
I like that. They say that he is like a zone buster. He is very, very good hands, even though apparently he does have tiny hands. He doesn't drop very much.
Wait. What do you mean tiny hands?
I mean, his hands aren't like giant gorilla hands for a wide receiver.
People, I agree with this. If his hands are small, that's a problem for me.
Okay.
I'm not kidding. I've seen it. We laugh about that with quarterback, but a wide receiver, you're telling me his hands are little? But he doesn't drop many.
He doesn't drop anything. I mean, so it's hard for me to knock it. The comp that I've heard the most on him is Stephon Diggs, which is,
I'm not upset with that.
No, I mean, I don't think anybody would be. But then also, because this Luther Burden was looked at going into last year as the number one receiver in the country.
He was a problem in the SEC, and there's a lot of cornerbacks that play.
For him to still be chilling around here, there's probably a reason for it. I'm not sure what it is. I think Luther Burden's a player, and if Luther Burden's your wide receiver too, kind of a possession guy to pair with your.
But doesn't he feel like about a 4th round pick?
No,
you think he's higher than that?
I think he's higher than that. Yeah, I think he's higher than that. Especially if, I think there were guys who went yesterday that I probably like Luther Burden better. I mean, I could make a case for Luther Burden over Emeka Egbuka or Matthew Golden for that matter. So
he would be the 5th off.
He would be the 5th off. Yeah. Well, depending on how you count Travis Hunter.
Oh, the 5th.
Okay.
The 5th off.
So if Hunter's the 1st, then he would be the 5th.
So we're getting a little shorter.
Yeah. Although ESPN's best available at wide receiver, he's the 3rd one on their board. I don't know if it's like a mishmash of all their draft guys who put this together, but it's got Jaden Higgins as their best available, the Ohio State guy. He is a big body. He's like 6'4", 220 type. And then Trey Harris from Ole Miss, who's another pretty big guy, not quite that big, but
got the dropsies. I've watched Harris drop a ball. What happened to Fresno State kid?
Fresno State.
Or was it Fresno?
Utah State. You're talking Jalen Royals.
Yeah,
he's still around.
Okay.
I don't know. I assume he's probably a 2nd, 3rd round type too. He's the one who was blazing at the combine. He was looked at as like a day 3 draft pick, and then he ran the fastest 10-yard split. He had the fastest 10-yard split at the combine, regardless of position. He had a 10-yard split where it was like 1.4 seconds or something like that.
Yeah,
and they were like, day 2. Like
a little slower than we
you
thought.
were a 6th rounder? Well, you're a 3rd rounder now. Congratulations. You run really, really fast. So that guy, yeah. But guys like that, if you say he's got some dropsies, people are like, well, yeah, he's fast. Who cares?
Yeah, I'm not going to throw it to him a lot.
Yeah, all he's got to do is catch it once.
I hope he's wide open, way downfield when I do.
He gone. And then the other guy, another big name on the board still is Isaiah Bond, who got into a little bit of trouble, we know, but he still ran a sub 4.40, and at some point played at Alabama, played for Nick Saban and Steve Sarkisian. There's probably a lot to like about this.
Yeah, and this is baby mama drama.
Yeah,
so I don't parse that with legal issues.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, unless he smacked her around.
Yeah. I mean, there's some of that, but this just feels to me like this is a relationship that's had its ups and downs. This was not a pattern.
The other guy who is maybe a bit of a big name, and you talk about big hands, big body, Savion Williams, the kid from TCU, who
I know Jerry likes.
I'm sure he does.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another guy. He can kind of do a little bit of everything. He can run the ball. He's a I don't want to say he's a gadget guy because that implies that he's like a.
Well, he's a gadget guy, AJ.
He is, but he's 6'4".
Yeah, but he's a multi-tool that really not great at anything, but you can put him a lot. But that's kind of a Cowboy pick.
I think when I say gadget guy, like the first thing that comes to mind for me is like the
little running back we interviewed
Deuce
last
Vaughn.
year.
Yeah, like some dude who's like 5'9", and he just
No.
he's not that. Or Percy Harvin, I thought of as like a gadget guy, or Darren Sproles.
But this is a guy who played 3 positions.
Yeah.
Especially with a team that has an adoration for fullback. I don't know if that's going to continue. He's the kind of dude that can fill a lot of different spots depending on the play call. So I'm not angry with the pick, but pick a guy who can do one thing real well early.
And he's a big old fella. The last thing they asked Will McClay was about what kind of wide receiver they could find on day 2.
Yeah, I mean, there's good football players there. That's why we go through the process of looking at all their talents and their skill sets. We go through it with the coaches, and there's traits that we're looking for. And then that's why we have great coaches to develop those as well. So there's players that come in this league from all different parts of the draft. We have to do our job well to identify those, and I still feel good that there's opportunities there, and it doesn't end. Steven says it's the player acquisitions 24/7, 365.
So there you go. Best available running backs, according to ESPN. Travion Henderson, Quinshon Judkins, Caleb Johnson from Iowa. He's another big dude, like 6'1", 6'2" type. Then Scadaboo. There's your guy. There's your guy. Dylan Sampson from Tennessee.
I like him too.
Devin Neal from Kansas. DJ Giddens from Kansas State. Jordan James from Oregon, who that's the guy that I think of.
Really?
Like he's like a little bowling ball.
Well, I
type.
trust if you tell me he started at running back at Oregon, they normally turn out all right.
Yep. RJ Harvey out of Central Florida, who I don't know much about, but he's like 5'8". I'm usually not into
about him.
To that. And Damian Martinez from the U.
Yeah, he's not bad.
Solid little player too. So still some guys available. The other thing that I think has been talked about as something that the Cowboys could look at is edge rusher. And Mike Green is looked at as maybe the kid from Marshall. People are talking about him like he might be the best player available today, which means the Cowboys probably won't have a chance to draft him. I don't know enough about him to tell you how good he is. I didn't see them play a lot.
The thing about him is he doesn't fit the template of we want big war daddies that played at big war schools. And, he just doesn't fit that. So it'd surprise me even if he was there if they took it.
The other edge rushers, Donovan Ezeruco from Boston College. He is pretty nasty. He's not a monster, not a giant, but he's pretty slick. I actually do like him. Again, another one, I don't know if he'll be around when the Cowboys pick at 44. Jordan Birch from Oregon. And JT Tuamalo from Ohio State. That is a big one, a 6'5", 260 type edge rusher.
Tuamalo, yeah.
So there's still and Nick Scourton is still available. Nick Scourton's still available as well. Who for a lot of the year was looked at as a first round pick.
Yeah, he slid, but I think it's after he's going to go early because he's got every bit of the skill set. He's just not very big.
Yeah, but. Again, the other thing is,
I like that Ohio State kid. He makes those plays in space. He had a couple of highlight, Sports Center, ESPN type plays of the week.
Speaking of edge rusher, the edge that jumped the highest and jumped the furthest at the combine, 6'6", 265 pounds, from the University of Arkansas.
The legend that is
Landon Jackson. Don't be surprised if Jerry takes note of a Landon Jackson.
Somebody from Arkansas could be drafted to the Cowboys.
That's right.
I mean,
he jumps high.
You got Clint Sterner. It'll work for somebody else, too.
That Arkansas milk,
I'll
Bubba.
tell you what.
Hey, let me tell you what. I got that star on my hat, and it made me like a damn superhero,
Telling me he's from Arkansas. Let's draft him.
Telling you, man.
Vote.
I was ready. I was born to be a Cowboy.
Big suey.
All right. We'll be... We're going to hit the NBA playoffs. We've talked NFL all day. We need to touch on what's going on in the NBA. We'll do that next. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Now starting to notice some slowdowns on 35 southbound, FM 1518 on down to 410. 90 eastbound 211 to Loop 410. That's also rolling slowly. We do still have this accident, I-10 westbound at Houston Street. It's causing about a 5-minute delay, slow from FM 1516. And Loop 410 eastbound Callahan, that stall now off to the shoulder. Little bit of a delay from Ingram. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies, offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney and have been representing people injured in auto and commercial truck collisions right here in San Antonio, my hometown, since 1994. Getting into a collision can be a life-altering event. Your health and recovery is the only thing that really matters, and anyone that's ever been injured in a traffic collision will tell you that. How do you get the insurance company to pay? Simple. Call me. As your attorney, my job is to get you through this. The decisions you make immediately after a collision are the most important decisions you can make. If you call me as soon as you can after a collision, I will help you make the right decisions for you and your family. Remember, I do not charge for a consultation. Growing up on the southwest side of San Antonio, when Loop 410 was the edge of town, I know how overwhelming it could be to face a giant insurance company all on your own. Just keep it simple. Call me. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website at lawyerforus.com.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Now at Verizon, we have some big news for your peace of mind. For all our customers, existing and new, we're locking in low prices for 3 years guaranteed on My Plan and My Home. That's future you peace of mind. And everyone can save on a brand new phone on My Plan when you trade in any phone from one of our top brands. That's new phone peace of mind. Because at Verizon, whether you're already a customer or you're just joining us, we got you. Visit Verizon today. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count. Because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team. Southern Recipe Small Batch.
It's the final days of Diamonds Direct's annual spring sale. This is your last chance to get an extra 20% off our already renowned prices. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off your purchase. But hurry, these savings end soon. And this weekend only, we're open Sunday to give you an extra day to shop our expanded selection of trending engagement ring settings, his and hers wedding bands, must-have fine jewelry, and more. Time is running out. 20% off, store-wide savings. Visit DiamondsDirect.com for details.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
May I help you? I just wanted to request a late checkout, please. Of course. That's $30 per hour for up to 4 hours. Huh. Okay, but if you can offer a late checkout, then that probably means no one is staying in that room. So if it's empty, maybe I can just stay a few extra hours. Oh, aren't you adorable?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
My name is John. I could not lose the weight I needed to. The Institute for Functional Health Wellness Program was the answer. It included a great deal of testing, supplements, and weekly face-to-face doctor visits. I finally had the accountability I needed. I am now 50 pounds lighter. I no longer have pain in my elbow, back, and hips. I have more energy and just feel and look so much better.
Call for your complimentary consultation, 210-468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
You know what this is?
No, this is stuff my kid listens to. I don't like this.
Wait a minute.
You get
Who
it,
is
Rob?
this?
The baby.
The baby.
No, I don't.
That's just a baby.
I never heard this before. Hey, the gold just
I got
arrived.
a chopper. Look at us, man.
Look at us. The gold has arrived.
We got all these medals.
Look, we're making it rain here. Look at this.
Oh, look at that.
Tickets to,
you know what
man.
this is like right now? You know, the money, the girls I could pick up right now?
Damn.
You're lucky. Look at this. Hey, ladies.
Damn.
You think anybody gets the complimentary ticket to Oyster Bake? You got to be kind of special. I'm just saying. Gotta be a dude.
You gal who likes oysters
You
and
like
bakes?
oysters? You know what they do to us. Just saying.
All right. The NBA continued on last night. Despite taking the back seat to the NFL, which I think that's every other sport. It's like anytime there's an NFL event, it's like no one's watching
it's
us.
April
Damn it.
and they're still involved.
They own everything. And then when the NFL says, "Yeah, we want to own Christmas Day," the NBA is like, "Wait a minute, that was our thing."
That's the ceremonial beginning to the season.
Well, the NFL is Debo. That's my day. What you mean your bike? That's my bike. Christmas, my day. NBA, little bitch ass NBA. You're not in charge. But some good games last night. The Knicks 118-116 win in Detroit. They were dominating the game. Detroit fought all the way back, came up just short. And when I say fought all the way back, there was actual fights too. Basketball fights, like shoving, like where Karl Anthony Towns pretended like he was going to fight someone.
He's hard, man.
Oh yeah.
I will say this: of all the wins last night, and the Clippers, my God, that was the most impressive. I didn't think the Knicks had it in them. I really didn't. I didn't think they had it in them to go into Detroit, who probably should have won both games in New York.
I mean, we've had 3 games that were decided by a total like 5 points. So I mean, the firuld game they choked it away.
Yeah, you'd have thought Detroit would have landed like, let's close these fools out. They should be down 0-2 wondering about their future. And they let the Knicks come in and body them and bully them. That was of all the teams, that was the most out of character win. The Clippers are on a whole other level. I think that they deserve their own conversation. But the win for the Knicks, pretty damn impressive. And I'm not sure they can carry it through because I still think Detroit is probably deeper. The best win of the night for me.
Yeah, I think so too. Although
the Clippers win that's ridiculous.
They put the hammer on them. The last 3 quarters of the game. So after the first quarter, the Nuggets scored 55 points. What? They scored 28 in the first quarter, and then they scored 55 for the rest of the game.
I can tell you this: world champions never let that happen to them.
They scored 19 in the second quarter, 13 in the fourth quarter. Like, you just can't let that happen. Now, meanwhile, the Memphis Grizzlies, who scored 77 in the first half, looked like they were going to boat race the Thunder. What'd you say? It was the largest comeback in NBA history? Was it 29?
Playoff comeback in NBA history.
It was at 29?
They were down by 29 in the second quarter.
They were down, yeah. So at halftime, the score was 77-51. So they were down 26 at halftime. They outscored the Grizzlies 63-31 in the second half. 31 points. And Ja Morant had left the game. You talk about a crippling loss emotionally. You like imagine how good they felt in the locker room at halftime. I told y'all we're in this. We can beat these dudes. We got them. We're clowning them right now. And they came out of the locker room, and the Thunder said, "Bitch, please."
Ripped their heart out, showed it to them, and ate it right.
You're going to learn today.
That is a franchise debilitating loss. I mean, that's one of those things that Memphis fan, a player gets over. A loss is a loss. Sometimes you're embarrassed, but you get back and go to work.
This is three times they've been embarrassed, though.
Right. And this one at home, fan will never forget it. Ever forget. I paid playoff money. I had a lead of 29 points.
Well, remember, you weren't here yesterday. You could have gotten into the FedEx Forum yesterday for $8 if you wanted to.
So they saw it coming.
They knew.
So Memphis fan ain't that upset.
They knew.
I'd have thought they'd have, gotten a little up. It's still John Memphis. They've made some runs before. All right, well, they're done.
Scottie Pippen Jr., 6 of 10 from 3. He puts up 28, and it feels like all of them were in the first half. I don't think he did anything after half. I mean, I just said no one did anything after halftime. But now you're down 3-0. John Morant, he walked out of the arena on crutches last night, I think.
What happened? Did you see the injury?
I think it's like a hip or something. He just took a hard fall. I mean, it's by the way, I think Aaron Brooks was our answer.
Aaron Brooks.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't expect him to play.
No, an ankle, you always go, well, tape him up, give him a shot. But when you start talking hips, nah.
Let's see what I'll pull up the line on Game 4.
He's a fool. If I will give him a lot of credit if he straps up and goes and plays again. But he's a fool if he does.
And this tells you the value of John Morant. Yesterday, you could have gotten the Thunder minus 9.5 in Memphis, which Memphis covered, by the way. Today, the assumption, again, is that Ja will not play. Oklahoma City minus 14.5.
If you'd have said 30.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically the same. So the Thunder continue to just roll.
Could be a song.
And the Thunder roll. Bum, bum, bum. Ba-na-na-na.
I wonder if they figured that out.
The Thunder rolls.
Isn't that guy from
and
Oklahoma
the
anyway?
lightning strikes. See, I know every genre, Vic. I'm all over the place, baby. I got it.
You're good.
Is that Girth?
That's Garth. Yeah. Oh, Garth knows that one.
Or was it his alter ego?
No, I think that was Garth. Christopher Gaines didn't do anything.
Gaines didn't do
He didn't do anything
Thunder
that noteworthy, I'm afraid.
The same dude.
It's like the guy from NXS
It's
and
the
U2.
same band. Chris Gaines.
Now imagine if we said Chris Gaines is opening up for Garth Brooks, and then
it's the same dude.
Yeah.
I would be pissed off. I would have been pissed off. I really would have been. Tonight, Celtics are at the Magic. They're up. Celtics up 2-0. I don't know if Jason Tatum's back or not. Last time it didn't matter. The Magic hung tough for about a half, and
What's
then
the line?
Rolled 4.5. Boston 4.5.
That's just to where you. If it's about 8, I wouldn't be afraid of Orlando.
Yeah,
But
4.
at
I don't think
4.5,
4.5's enough. But although if Tatum's not playing, 4.5 feels reasonable.
Oh, I'll tell you, it looked like Boston was trying to. I don't know if they're trying to gauge what Orlando's abilities are without Tatum, but it seemed like they had every chance to beat them on the road, and they couldn't. I just don't see much happening.
Claymore thinks it was on purpose. He said Lou Dort tried to break his back on a dunk when he fouled him hard. I mean, he was trying to posterize Dort, and he was up over the top of him. I don't know that that's intentional. I think that's kind of the risk you take when you try and posterize someone. Is you're probably there's a good chance you could end up on the ground.
And Dort is a physical cat on top of that, so no, I'm not surprised.
Pacers are at the Bucks tonight. That one, the Pacers are up 2-0. I fully expect the Bucks to bounce back tonight. I think they have to. This is backs against the wall. This team has too much experience and too much talent to let themselves get swept. This is where teams down 2-0 typically fight back hard here, and specifically because I think and you could say the same thing about the Magic, and I think we both expect a decent performance from the Magic. I don't think the Magic are going to lose by 20 tonight.
No.
But the Bucks, because they kind of have equal talent to the Pacers, I expect the Bucks to win tonight.
And I think Dame probably will be much better.
Yeah.
If not more might get very many minutes, but the minutes that you do get will be a lot more effective.
And then Lakers Timberwolves tonight is the nightcap.
Man, I have no idea what to expect.
They are 1-1.
What's the line?
Minnesota 2.5.
It's a pick 'em to me. I have no idea what to expect tonight.
Yeah, I mean I think Minnesota should win.
They should, but I could say the same thing about
At
the
home.
Lakers.
Yeah, but the Lakers have not been good on the road this year at all.
But if they bring that defense again, I'm telling you, this is a pick 'em.
Yeah, another team that's been pretty bad on the road is the Pacers, or at least average. They're 20-20 on the road. 30-12 at home. That's a pretty big.
I'll tell you, and this is, I don't want to make it too big a deal. It's only game 3, and there'll be an elimination game. But you get the sense that this is Giannis's last stand if things don't go well. That he is, if they're exited the way it appears, that the offseason he's going to start talking about where am I going to land next. I mean, he's still under contract for a couple years, but you feel like this could be the turning point. Well, he'll start taking some calls.
I think if the Bucks lose in 4 specifically, and I think really if the Bucks lose this series, you're going to start hearing, I don't want to be in Milwaukee anymore. And it sucks for the Bucks, but thus is life when you live in Milwaukee.
That last post-game presser, he did not look like a happy man.
No, he did not. All right. Man, 3 hours down. This whole week has flown by. Unbelievable. We'll see what else is going on in the world of sports outside of the NFL draft. It is the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Listen up, San Antonio. At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can get college credit for the stripes you've earned. Turn your military rank into college credit to save time and money on an online degree. Eligible enlisted service members and previously enlisted veterans may receive up to 12 credits for select undergraduate courses based on their rank, and up to 90 credits in total for prior learning, military experience, and training. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu/SATX.
Tragically, recent data reveals that 40% of women in Texas will experience intimate partner violence. Christie's Hope is dedicated to breaking the cycle of domestic violence by providing shelter, healing, and counseling, and empowering survivors to take their first steps towards lasting safety and independence. Thomas J. Henry stands with us in our commitment to end domestic violence. Donate today at christieshope.org.
Transforming your land with a John Deere compact tractor is as easy as connect, latch, load, haul, spread. Cutting grass is as simple as roll, click, mow. Box blading is as effortless as hook, lock, grade. And backhoeing is as convenient as turn around, switch, dig. Because when you've got the versatility to tackle just about any job and dealer support in your own backyard, you just have to get in the seat. Find the right compact tractor for you at johndeere.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-334-2266. That's 800-334-2266. 800-334-2266.
Paid for by Wesley Financial. Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, HIMS can help. Through HIMS.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson. I'm a personal injury attorney, and since 1994, I've been helping people and their families seriously injured or killed by negligent drivers. My website is alawyer4us.com. I use that phrase because I know that there's no way a regular San Antonian can possibly beat a billion-dollar insurance company alone. You will need an experienced attorney to stand up for you and get what you and your family deserve. This month, my father will retire after 50 years of practicing law, doing what he taught me to do, help people in need. Stand up for the people that cannot. Use the skills you have to help the people in your community win and where you can. When an insured driver seriously injures someone, a billion-dollar insurance company uses everything it can to pay as little as possible. Every insurance company you have heard of has a very large staff of attorneys already working against you. If you or a family member has been seriously injured because of a negligent driver, call me, Jason Thompson, as soon as you can after a collision. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or check out my website, alawyer4us.com.
O'Reilly. Get one free set of Brake Best brake pads when you buy 2 Brake Best Select brake rotors. You can upgrade to Brake Best Select brake pads for just $10 more. Or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or Import Direct pads for just $20 more. Visit your local O'Reilly Auto Parts. Offer in-store only. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Now starting to notice some slowdowns on 35 southbound, FM 1518 on down to 410. 90 eastbound 211 to Loop 410. That's also rolling slowly. We do still have this accident, I-10 westbound at Houston Street. It's causing about a 5-minute delay, slow from FM 1516. And Loop 410 eastbound Callahan, that stall now off to the shoulder. Little bit of a delay from Ingram. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
At least it went as expected for pick number 1. Cam Ward, formerly of Incarnate Word, currently of the Tennessee Titans, went number 1 overall in the NFL draft. The Cowboys added front line depth with guard Tyler Booker from Alabama with their number 12 pick. In the NBA, the Thunder came from 29 points down, the biggest playoff comeback in NBA history, 108-104. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center brought to you by Centergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowteam.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
9:02 on the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Good morning, San Antonio. Hope you guys are having a good Friday. Yay. We be clubbing. Yes. Day 2 of the draft gets underway today. Mel Kiper, who apparently, what's he know anymore?
I'm starting to wonder.
He thinks that Shedeur Sanders is the best player in the whole draft. So
He went to bed mad.
But he gave his winners and losers.
Did he include himself?
For round 1, he would never.
Crazy. Oh, by the way, myself.
My hairstylist. The worst. The winners. Matthew Golden, the Packers, he called them a winner, taking Matthew Golden at 23.
All right.
He says, I love this pick. I remember watching Golden when he was still in Houston. His consistency continued at Texas, runs great routes, big play threat, receivers a huge need, and it gets better. He says, I ranked Golden 16th overall. He's my second-ranked receiver in the class behind Hunter, yet we saw McMillan and Ibuka go before him. So he said this was a great home run for the Packers. Tyler Warren to the Colts. He says that's a good one. He said, I heard teams were trying to get ahead of the Colts to get one of the top 2 tight ends. I thought Warren might go to the Jets at 7. They took Mimbo. Then Colston Loveland, the other top tight end, went 10 to Chicago. But somehow, some way, Warren ended up falling into the Colts' lap 4 picks later. He says, I have Warren ranked 5 spots better than Loveland at 7 overall. Moves all over the offense, has strong hands to make contested plays, and is simply unstoppable after the catch. Feels a major need for the Colts. So
I think Chris Ballard is an excellent GM. I question his quarterback.
Yeah, everyone seems Chris Ballard's one of those guys who he's friends with all the media guys, and every media guy I know loves Chris Ballard. But then I'm like, if he's so great, why do the Colts suck?
They suck, but they're always relatively talented. So yeah. I mean, they've always got decent dudes. What? I can't make heads or tails, but they tend to draft pretty well. They just can't figure out quarterback.
Jacksonville, he lists as a winner. You talk about being aggressive moving up. It just felt like I thought it was too much, but they love him. And he says that, Travis Hunter was his wire-to-wire number 1 prospect on his board. He says he expects Hunter to play primarily on offense in Jacksonville. Yeah. They've got an offensive-minded coach in Liam Cohen. And the combination of Hunter and Brian Thomas should give Trevor Lawrence all the help he needs.
And it's a splash. Jacksonville just needed something to feel good about.
Yeah.
So let's make a splash. Everybody talk about us for a couple of days.
But he also calls the Browns winners. And I think the Browns are winners because not only do they get – Mason Graham, I don't know what to think. Mason Graham might be good. I'm not totally sure. It's hard for me to even take anything seriously when the first comp people give to him is Aaron Donald. I always go, yeah, right. But the fact that they got Jacksonville's second-round pick, they got their first-round pick next year, it's almost like even if Mason Graham sucks, you still came out all right.
Yeah, you got to draft appropriately, but yeah, I think so.
So I think the Browns were winners. The Chargers he called winners with Omarion Hampton. He thought that Hampton was going to go to the Broncos, and instead he goes 2 picks later to a division rival. Jim Harbaugh loves to run the football. Now he's got a really good duo in Hampton and Najee Harris.
I'd forgotten they had Harris. That's right.
Hampton runs through contact, has breakaway speed, and can catch the ball out of the backfield. I don't love first-round picks, and this is a deep class at the position, but given their identity, this makes a lot of sense.
I'll tell you what, beware of the Chargers. This might be the final formula piece.
Maybe so.
If they can control the ball and not make Herbert do anything crazy.
And then the Chiefs, Josh Simmons, the Chiefs pick, he says they added a 5th-rounder, moved back to 1 pick, and still got the 15th graded prospect on his list and left tackle, Josh Simmons. So he liked he said that Simmons was dinged during the pre-draft process because he had a knee injury. He only played 6 games last year, but he said if he's healthy, he might have been the top tackle in the class. So obviously, and if it's a need for the Chiefs. He says more picks he liked in round 1. Abdul Carter he liked.
Well, that's easy.
Yeah. He liked Jalen Walker to the Falcons. He liked Gray Zabel to the Seahawks. Says not the sexiest pick, but fits what they needed, the interior line. Questionable picks and reaches from round 1.
Uh-oh.
First on the board, Tyler Booker, Dallas Cowboys. It says this was a reach for need. Cowboys were 24th in pass block win rate last year. Zach Martin retired. They obviously wanted an immediate replacement at right guard, and Booker's a good player. It's a heavyweight fight on every snap against him. Movement is not his game, but there's no doubt he's a mauler at the line of scrimmage. I thought he was outstanding in pass pro too. The value is just iffy. He barely clipped my final top 25, and he plays a non-premium position. Matthew Golden was on the board. Omarion Hampton was on the board. He says, I would have gone another direction. Yeah. He wanted the sexy toy.
He sounds like Cowboy fan. I get it.
I'm
standing
by. I like the pick. I like it, man.
He tried to downgrade him with a compliment.
I know.
I don't quite get it.
New Orleans, Kelvin Banks.
His arm's a little tiny.
No, that's not him.
Oh, no.
That's Will Campbell.
That's right. His arms go all
Kelvin Banks is the one who's his baby throws up.
Yeah.
He says, now this is weird.
Way out here.
This isn't really about Banks. He started 42 games in college and is a really good run blocker. After all, he's decent value at number 9. I had him 13 on my board, and he checks a box for the Saints. This is really about passing on the quarterback class and specifically Shedeur Sanders. That's what I knew it was going to be. It's like
about
the Saints should have taken Sanders, and they blew it because they didn't. Okay. Miami, Kenneth Grant. They said that they could have had Will Johnson, though reportedly he had a knee issue. They could have had Jahdae Barron. If they do trade Jalen Ramsey, their cornerback room would be Kader Kohu, Storm Duck, Cam Smith, and Ethan Bonner, which that's not good. And instead, they opted to skip the position to draft a nose tackle. Yes, he's explosive, but he was 30th on his board. And maybe this makes Cowboy fan feel a little bit better. He questioned Ted McMillan at 8. Said tremendous on contested catch balls, and he always produces, but they lacked a number one receiver. They clearly see him as that. Now they've got a nice young receiving core to build Young's offense. Xavier Legette and Jalen Coker they drafted too. He said, but I wonder about the value. He has McMillan ranked 19th in the class. He thought Golden should have come off the board before, and they also have a lot of needs on defense that they have to get fixed. So he questioned what they did. More picks he questioned from round 1. Who's going to play quarterback in Pittsburgh? Shedeur Sanders. They could have had Shedeur. I'll mention the Jackson Dart pick for the Giants, but only because he went before Shedeur. He is, I mean,
you got to justify.
He is dying on this Shedeur Sanders hill. Shedeur Sanders better be able to play, or Mel Kiper is going to be. People are going to be like, what the hell? The Falcons, James Pierce was 34th in his rankings. They didn't. He was shocked they gave up a future first rounder to move up to 26 and get him. It's a lot to give up, and they had talented edge rushers still available on the board. They got value with their first pick, lost value on this one. And he says, I've got mixed feelings on the Lions pick, Tyleik Williams, the lowest ranked first-round pick on his board at number 44, but defensive tackles were going fast yesterday, and the top 4 off the board were gone by 21. So when they were on the clock at 28, they kind of that's where they were at. Now, his best available players for round 2, you'll never guess who he's got at number 1. Shedeur.
Sanders.
Number 2, Will Johnson. Number 3, Nick Onamawore, the safety from South Carolina. Mike Green, the edge rusher from Marshall. Donovan Ezeraku, the linebacker from Boston College. Carson Schweisinger, the linebacker from UCLA. Luther Burden III from Missouri. Elijah Arroyo, tight end from Miami. Darius Alexander, the defensive tackle from Toledo. And Mason Taylor, tight end from LSU, are his best still available. So there's Mel's take on day 1. Doesn't like what the Cowboys did.
Well,
they didn't draft Shedeur. No, that's actually everybody else he blamed for not drafting Shedeur, but not the Cowboys. I don't know. You're right. Like, to say it's a reach for need, yes. In a way, like, I don't think Tyler Booker was the 12th best player available, but he was the best available player at a position of serious need for the Cowboys.
I get the idea of a shiny toy in Dallas. I get he is a Dallas Cowboy watcher, and I think that you expect that. But I like Mel Kiper. I think his very first one. Every year, I like the first one, and then he starts to change to the point where he doesn't even know where he stands.
Yeah,
So I appreciate him as my opening level scout. The first thing that I read every year, what's the draft look like? It's Mel's. But after that, because he has to write 17 of them, I start to lose interest.
Now, there were people who said the Cowboys could have traded back and still, maybe still gotten the same player in Tyler Booker.
I think that they were trying to trade back by Jerry's estimation, right? I mean, they were on the phone anyway.
But also remember that Seattle took a guard at 18. Minnesota took a guard at 24. I thought there was one other one. Did I miss one? Maybe that's it. Seattle and so that's 2 guys off the board. If they had traded with the Texans down to 25, then they're getting the third guy, the third best offensive guard. Are you happy with that? Would you have been happy if they had taken Gray Zabel at 25? I don't know if anybody would have been happy with it, and we don't know what because the Cowboys said we rejected the trade because we didn't get back what we thought was enough. And instead, at 25, the Texans they decide we can't trade up. We're going to trade down. And I don't know. I just don't think they got enough, especially knowing the Giants wanted a quarterback. I would have made them pay, and the Texans didn't. It's almost like they did them a solid. Like, you know what? We don't really love anything here, and we know you do. We'll let you go ahead and take this one. It really does feel
like, just remember me in years to come when I come calling because I'm doing you a favor.
And We'll see. We'll see what Jackson Dart is. I don't think Jackson Dart sucks, but I've said all along, I ain't taking any of these guys in round 1. That includes Jackson Dart. I guess he's as good as any of them. I'm just I don't know if he's a real starting quarterback in the NFL long term.
You'll see, man. Feels like Will Levis to me, although Will didn't even make it to the first round. He's still a second rounder.
Nope. You know what? I like him better than Will Levis.
Oh, settle down.
Will Levis has been
Don't give me Will coming out of that guy was a rock star.
My
baby.
historic first round or my historic quarterback projections. Will Levis was my most accurate one. I said Will Levis isn't even an NFL football player. I don't know why.
Come on.
Anyone is looking at him.
Will Levis will go Sam Darnold on you.
No, he will not.
1 year
He sucks.
he's going to be in an appropriate place. Put away the mayonnaise and get to work.
He fooled everyone. I don't know how. I don't know how he did it.
I think Dart's actually going to be a pretty good quarterback. I think the separate part from him, and Levis had an average arm, but acumen. I think that because the comparisons to Allen, and it's a distant comparison, but because he will put his head down. No, I think because he'll put his head down and go pick up a couple yards when it has to be had. That would be enough for me to take him.
Jackson Dart's like 6'1". It's a very distant comparison.
No, I'm saying it's not about the stature. It's about the attitude, and I do like the attitude.
Okay. Well, we'll see. I do know that Brian Daboll's got to like this guy because his job is on the line. Because I know Brian Daboll did not want Danny Dimes. He did not want them to re-sign Daniel Jones, and they did it, and he was just like, oh, my God. And then Daniel Jones turned into what we all thought Daniel Jones was.
Let's talk about the benefit of what Dart did get. So he does land in a place where he's got guys in the room. He's got a Super Bowl champion, and a guy who's been around for a minute. But Daboll might not ever actually coach Jackson Dart as a starter because if Russell doesn't play out very well, then suddenly you've got backup in, and before you know it, your draft pick is playing, and you're fired. So, he drafted Jackson Dart, who could very well be the starting quarterback for the next head coach of the New York Giants.
Could be. Very well could be. And what a wild quarterback room. A first-round rookie, a former number 1 overall pick.
Eating crab legs in the corner.
And a former Super Bowl winner. And the undrafted, the folk hero, Tommy DeVito.
The Wonder Boy.
Although he ain't going to be around much longer.
I don't think Tommy going to be showing
Tommy
up
DeVito's going to be playing for the Brahmas or the Gunslingers pretty soon. I got a feeling.
We'll take him.
But I don't know. I won't be surprised if Jackson Dart's playing at the end of this year. I also won't be surprised if Jackson Dart just isn't worth a damn until 2 or 3 years down the line.
He's going to have to survive the interceptitis that he's going to go through, man. He's going to throw a lot of interceptions. He's going to wing some downfield that are going to look ugly.
Let me say this. Malik Neighbors is good. Malik Neighbors is going to make somebody look pretty damn good.
Yeah.
That's one dude I have got no doubts about at wide receiver.
I'm like the Cowboys and offensive lineman. I liked Levis. I like Dart. I just don't trust my eyes anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't blame you. If you liked Will Levis,
I like Levis. I did. His senior year, I thought he was worthy. It's just wrong place, the wrong time.
Yeah, you saying that makes me like Jackson Dart less, now that I think about it. He reminds me a lot of Will Levis.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Got a lot of Will Levis, too. A lot of Sam Darnold.
Yeah, whoever like convinced the guy, and that's why I don't know how happy I am about Tennessee. I guess it's a different group of guys picking now that were there at the time, but like the guys that picked Tennessee or picked Will Levis for Tennessee, I don't know if it's the same GM or not.
No,
actually,
he's gone. New GM.
Okay,
everybody gone.
But
coach gone, GM gone, everybody gone.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust the guy who drafted Will Levis to use the first pick on a
same
quarterback.
guy that drafted Will Levis traded away wide receiver to the Eagles. Same guy, same dude.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about
right. Brilliant.
Yeah, that's not always smart. Claymore says Jackson Dart's 1 year away from being 1 year away.
Claymore, you're so funny.
He might be right. I don't feel good about any of these guys. Like, you're not going to see me say that's the quarterback I want out of this draft. I don't like any of them. So if any of them are worth a damn, then good for them. I don't like a 1. If you put a gun to my head and said draft one of these guys, and if you said I can get Jalen Milroe in round 3, I would take Jalen Milroe in round 3.
Now, Dart's my guy. He's my favorite quarterback in this class.
But I would also draft Jalen Milroe with a half expectation that he's not going to be in the league in 3 years. Like, he's just not going to work. But I'd try it.
Hey, man, Joe Milton's still around.
True.
I mean, better arm, but I'm talking about Milroe. But, yeah, Milton, I mean, same kind of guy that needed some seasoning, and you never know.
Well, I hadn't gotten any yet.
Right.
Still waiting for him to get seasoned. All right. Let's hit a break. When we come back, we'll see what's going on in the world outside of sports. I got to tell you about Karbach Brewing. Oh, yes. The Karbach was flowing, and you know what? It might be flowing this weekend. I am headed to Houston to the mothership of Karbach, and they're not shisty with their beer. They're sending the good stuff here to San Antonio too, let me tell you. But there is stuff that you can only get in the tap room when you are there in Houston. They've got great food there too, by the way, if you ever get a chance. No, the Lucha Libre, that's not this weekend, but that's in May. We're going to have to make a road trip, I think.
The more I think about it, the more we need to.
Oh, what a fun time that'll be. They are doing a Lucha Libre show there in May. If you are into seeing the masked wrestlers, which I am. I love luchadors, so I might be making that trip. But it's all about the beer with these guys, too. Whether it's their Hopadillo, which is their flagship IPA, super in-your-face, hop-forward profile, or you like something a little more crushable, that's the Love Street, the Kolsch-style blonde ale. And for me, the perfect balance between crushable and smooth, nice, flavorful drink, Crawford Bock. That's my go-to. I love that Crawford Bock. I think it's great for all seasons. And right now, you can get the Hopadillo Imperial. That is available. That's the double IPA. You think Hopadillo's aggressive? Wait till you try this. Just under 10%. Just a massive, massive beer. And it's available all over San Antonio. So, guys, when you're out and about, you're watching the draft for the rest of this weekend, you're watching the playoffs, go ahead and ask your bartender to please make it a Karbach.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Still dealing with that stall at 35 northbound at Loop 410. It's taking up a left lane. On 410 westbound, that off-ramp to Bandera Road got stalled. It's blocking the right shoulder of the exit ramp. On Loop 410 eastbound Callahan, a little bit of a delay due to a stall as they moved off the main lane, now off to the shoulder. Now, if you guys see something we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line so we can check it out. 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
What's up, folks? This message is for all the home improvement DIYers out there. Sherwin-Williams is running the play of the season with their 4-day super sale. Get 40% off all paints and stains April 25th through the 28th. We're talking every color, folks. They still haven't made a Jets green, but their Shamrock shade is pretty darn close. That's 40% off paints and stains April 25th through the 28th. Shop the super sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions. A very handsome reward indeed. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%. Plus, you also get 4% APY on your cash and non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national savings average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% IRA boost on annual contributions, sign up at robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rates subject to change. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to robinhood.com/boost. Over 8 times the national average savings account interest rate claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November 18th, 2024. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for basketball and hockey this season. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every one-timer and buzzer-beating 3 live and in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Don't miss out. Visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home.
That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John always listens to his truck. So when his brakes start talking, he goes to AutoZone, where a helpful AutoZoner gets him the right parts. If John has time to put them in, he borrows a kit with Loan-A-Tool. And if he doesn't, he gets a free shop referral. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool. Restrictions apply.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
All right. Got to do something here. Claymore is trying to put us both on the Jackson Dart wagon.
Yeah,
I don't want to be on that wagon.
Jump on the wagon, baby.
Like,
get there early.
Claymore's like, I'm going to remind them every time.
Yes.
I don't, we're not the same. We're not Siamese twins here. You know, we're different people.
There's room
Claymore.
on this bandwagon. Just get here early.
Yeah.
We'll welcome you in.
I'm all right. Like, you're just trying. I don't want to be thrown under that same shade with you. I'm not looking for that.
His name is Jackson Dart.
Yeah,
he was born to it.
You're on that one. I'm gonna sit this one out.
I will own it.
I'm standing by. These guys all suck.
I missed on Levis, but like in the Vegas parlance, I only need to hit 53%.
Right. You got to. Hey, man. You got to stink. You got to swing again.
That's right.
You got to. You can't just give up.
Mind, somebody drafted Josh Rosen.
That's right. That's true. Someone did.
First round.
This is not the way to treat your mom in Florida.
Well, can we prove she's my mom?
Deltona, Florida.
Lovely place. Been there.
17-year-old boy has now been arrested after his 77-year-old mother poured a glass of milk from the refrigerator.
Adoptive, we assume?
I'm doing some quick math on that.
60, unless he's born from Abraham. I don't think.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm sure
I guess
there's some direct familial.
Well, she took a sip and it had an intense chemical taste.
Oh
no. Do you recall what happened this morning? Yes, he put the Clorox in the milk. You poured it into your glass and had some. How much do you think you had? I think I had a little bit and I tasted it. We have a 17-year-old here who put Clorox in our milk, attempting to poison the mother. I don't know what to do about that. Investigators said the teen was aware that bleach could hurt someone and had intended for the bleach to make his mother sick. So he admitted to the crime, saying he was upset with his mom and didn't want to live with her. Well, I mean, you could have just
run away,
moved out. He's arrested on felony charges of poisoning food or water, attempted felony murder, and aggravated abuse of an elderly person. Deputies say the mom did not report any immediate symptoms but wanted a medical evaluation. I give this kid a little bit of credit because he could have just lied and said, I was like trying to do a science project or something. My friend said if you put bleach in the milk, it'll turn clear or something. You know, like I think I would have done something like that rather than just say, yeah, I hate this old hag. I'm tired of living with her.
I have a feeling that when you see him, and I haven't seen a picture, you'll go, oh, yeah, he tried to poison.
There's no picture. Remember, he's a 17-year-old, so they can't.
You look at him and go, no, there wasn't no science experiment going on.
Yeah, they probably did give a look and go,
yeah,
this,
did it.
You're full of it. Yeah. You're full of it. What I didn't realize yesterday was why you skipped the show. yesterday was National Skipping Day.
There you go.
And I didn't read that until today.
You're gonna have to read your
I
federal
said,
calendars of days off.
I should have known. I should have known.
I was going to tell you, but I skipped it.
Well, that's good. Yeah, a Dollar Tree employee called 911 over something that you probably wouldn't expect to call 911 over. There were the Dollar Tree worker called the cops. Now they've made this about race apparently. This is in Atlanta. A white Dollar Tree worker calls the cops on a black mom and daughter, falsely accusing them of deliberately breaking glasses in the store. A video is circulating on TikTok where an employee makes racist remarks at the black mother and child while calling 911, alleging that they were damaging items. Oh, I think she's with another woman. That's a child. That's a child, you racist mother effer. That's what the lady said. I can't tell exactly because she's black.
Jeez.
I'm guessing. I'm guessing. Well, the store worker goes close to the mom and she says, "You're gonna get in trouble. You're gonna get in trouble." And she said, "I'm not getting in trouble. You don't do that. Maybe over in Zaire, but you don't do that here."
Jeez.
I'm guessing this this Dollar Tree employee is not gonna.
I smell a settlement. I smell a settlement coming.
I do too. Of all the African countries, Zaire, huh? That's where you're pulling out.
Wow. All right. Well.
Maybe you can get away with that in Zaire, but not here. Oh, God.
Yeah, there's a fixer flying in from the corporate headquarters of Dollar Tree with a check in their hand. We'd like to apologize, and by signing this, you can never talk about this again.
They're closing stores anyway.
But now you can afford to move to Zaire if you'd like. Here's $100,000. We'd like to tell you we're sorry.
Minus taxes.
I like to sometimes read the questions in this in the adult the advice columns.
Oh, I thought we were going to
not the adult. No, sorry, advice columns.
From,
all right.
And I want to know what your advice would be.
Penthouse Forum.
All right.
Dear Life Kit, I'm a 60-year-old widower, and I recently met a 52-year-old widow. We get along great. She's smart as hell and as sarcastic as I am. We've told each other we like each other and have expressed affection in non-physical ways. The issue is, I'm widowed from my wife. She's also widowed from her wife. My wife was with women before she met me. I'm very open about people's sexualities, and we've briefly discussed sexuality, but I have no idea how fluid she may be, if at all. I would like nothing better than to kiss her. I felt at least a couple moments would have been perfect for that, yet I hesitated. I don't want to chase her away. Any advice on how to proceed?
Well, first of all, every guy's got a type, but you evidently like lesbians.
You ran across two in a row.
Yeah, you're trying to draft off of a team that really does not appreciate the equipment you bring to the party.
Yeah.
So you might want to get this out front pretty quick. And maybe look in the mirror.
That's the move.
Why are lesbians so attracted, or you so attracted to them?
What advice would you give this fella? Go for it?
Go all in one time. You got nothing to lose.
Live your life, buddy.
That's kind of what I'm at. Their advice is, I don't think a kiss is where to start here.
Oh.
I think he should say, I enjoy being friends with you, but would you ever be down to go on a date with me, or is that not your thing? It could be as simple as that and as easy as that.
Could be.
But let's face it, men also don't want to be friends with women unless there's a chance of sex.
That's right.
They
don't want to waste their time. Right.
No. All men can say, I want to have these female friends, but the truth is, if you have girlfriends,
you better be through.
You're really just trying to have sex with her.
Yeah,
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean,
one day you drink too much.
Yeah, you're hoping a scenario like that comes about.
I want my wife to notice I'm not part of this conversation at all.
Well, Rob doesn't have any friends that aren't female. None of Rob's friends are females. Those are his wife's friends.
That's right.
Now, they might want to have sex with Rob.
I doubt it, but
they probably do. Even look at this handsome son of a. Zoom the camera in on Rob.
Yeah. Look at this.
Show that.
You don't want any.
Look at that.
You don't want any. Nobody wants all of this.
They want that.
No one can handle all of this. full look at this.
Yeah,
Ooh.
bum shoulder, bum
With the
knee, bum shoulder.
But when all the parts are all synced up,
Yeah.
not bad. But the check engine light hasn't gone off here in a couple months.
Oh, yeah. I
Could
was
be
gonna
worse.
say, yeah.
Could be worse.
You could do worse. You could do worse. That's
I
always
have a retirement account.
That's
Oh,
good.
there you go.
You know, I got a pretty healthy retirement
Oh,
in
yeah.
healthcare.
Yeah.
Makes me pretty.
Yeah, remember, he doesn't manscape either.
No, I'm all out there. I am your lump of clay that you can mold or shave into whatever you'd like.
There you go.
I can't believe you don't manscape at all.
Why? Keeps my underwear up.
It's a.
How much is down there? Jesus.
Holds on to my underwear.
Like when Rob lost weight.
It's like Velcro.
Rob lost weight. He didn't have to buy new underwear. He just grew out a man bush.
Grew out the crotch fro and let it hold on like Velcro. You got to.
Oh man.
Your underwear lasts 4 or 5 years longer.
And a little bit of news. We didn't get to talk about this on the air. Carlos Santana, who was supposed to play here in San Antonio.
Oh, yeah.
Health issues.
Ended up not playing. He collapsed during the sound check.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
The update, tested positive for COVID. He's got the Rona.
Oh, well, then he's going to be fine.
He's expected to return to the road today. So he's going to have to reset his San Antonio visit.
First time I've heard any of the Rona sickness in a couple
you don't
weeks.
hear it very often.
It was going around San Antonio back in January.
I'm against COVID. I'm against coronavirus.
I'm glad you're finally
of
planting
all
your feet on
kinds.
this.
Like,
You've been riding the fence for a long time.
Let's get rid of it.
Good.
Like, wipe it out. Eliminate it. I'm against it fully. And while we're at it, cancer. Don't like it. I'm against it.
I'm anti.
Fully.
I'm kind of pro measles, though.
I hate measles.
I'm pro measles.
You know, Ren is going to say, "Oh, here goes AJ again. AJ hates everything." I hate measles. I hate them.
I don't mind measles. I prefer the
I got
the
it back in the
inoculation,
70s.
the vaccination far more than the disease. But I'm a fan of measles.
My arm was itching the other day, and I was like, "Oh no,
the measles."
Oh no.
Do you?
I was like,
does it itch?
No, not now, but it did earlier, like earlier in the week. I had, and then I started to like maybe think, I was like, oh, my arm itches, and I was like, no, you're just saying that because you felt your arm itch earlier, and now it's like a phantom itch.
And there's no mosquitoes yet.
No.
Oh, there are. We got mosquitoes.
Oh, you got mosquitoes?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have any yet. There's
Yeah.
maybe in the next few days.
They're here. They just haven't found you.
Yeah,
They're
I
here.
saw the first mosquito of the year at your brother's house.
Yeah,
That's the
they're
first
here.
one I saw.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I haven't seen any at our house.
You know what else I hate? I hate mosquitoes. I'm against them.
I'm
I
gonna
wish
stand
they would
firm with you on that one.
I wish they would all die, and they would be an extinct species.
I don't care what part of the food chain.
Why aren't there poachers of mosquitoes? Why don't? How come people kill elephants and white rhinos but not mosquitoes?
Oh, I'll take out a fair share.
All right, well, good.
I have a.
you got that salt gun?
Yeah,
huh?
I got the salt gun, man.
Oh,
does that work on the skeeters too?
Yes, yes, it does.
No, I have like a tennis racket that's
electric. I've seen
yeah,
those.
I have that, and then I have the bug light outside.
I just sit out and slather myself in honey.
I just
and
eat
start
garlic.
shooting and just start firing away.
I just eat garlic bulbs like apples, and then it just keeps them
Mosquitoes love me because I'm diabetic, have the sugar in me. They just love it.
Just oozes
They
out of
just
you.
eat me up, man.
Yeah, I'm against mosquitoes. Yeah, see, Claymore's like, Rob and AJ, it's too late. He wants me to own it. I'm not owning Jackson
Look,
Dart.
It's
Don't
the
try
just in case factor.
I own it. I am calling my shot.
Yeah, I'm not accepting this, Claymore. You can't put this on me. You're trying to make me believe in something I don't believe in. I'm not doing
it every day.
When
I
Jackson
know.
Dart,
He's gonna bring it up every
and somebody's
day.
gonna believe him. He's gonna be like, "Oh, AJ loved Jackson Dart."
Yeah.
Right. I need you to record this soundbite.
Okay, let's see. Go ahead.
Jackson Dart is no good. That's me.
Jackson Dart will hold the Super Bowl trophy above his head in 2029.
Okay, now keep both of those, Vic. Let's keep both of those on file.
All right.
I didn't say he was going to win it. I'm just saying he's going to pick it up over his head.
No one's. And then the cops are going to be called. He's going to
be out of the league and stealing something is what I'm calling. But
or he's going to be like who was it? J.D. Vance, like dropping the trophy.
I broke it.
Oh yeah.
Oops.
No. All right, let's take our last break of the day, and when we come back, we'll wrap up the week the way we always do by taking a look at the daily lines. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1.
Twin Peaks is waiting on you today and all weekend long. If you're a draft fan, and I'm talking about both the NFL type and the cold brew type, there's no better place than Twin Peaks today. And as Fiesta begins, don't forget about that friendly neighborhood spot you've been going to all year long. Stop by early, stay there late. They've got all the specials you're chasing. The beer is icy cold. It's always 29 degrees, and you can absolutely rely on that kitchen. It might not come out on a stick, but it's going to come out hot, fresh, and ready for you. That's why I love Twin Peaks. They have a seasonal menu that's always being updated with the things that I absolutely love. They've got everything I want to see on the televisions. And, oh, by the way, the mixologist is outstanding at what she does because everything they make is made for you in your man cave. So when you're thinking about things to do with friends and family tonight and all weekend long, you don't have to stand out in a field with stuff on a stick. You can go sit comfortably with friends of like mind, surrounded by TVs and fine food. The eats are spectacular. The drink's icy cold, but why do we go? It's so easy. It's those scenic views.
If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
TV on YouTube says buy a cover for your TV.
Problem with that.
There's always a problem.
My brother has a cover on his. You can't see.
You're talking about the protective screen. He's talking about a cover like for a grill.
Just a cover. Okay,
yes,
I got
to
you.
keep the dust out of the back.
When I get home tonight, take the blower out, and I'm going to blow the dust off of that thing.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District understands that keeping your child safe is your top priority. Vaccines are safe and can help your child's immune system fight harmful germs. They protect against serious diseases and can even save lives. Because when it comes to your child's health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. Learn more at sa.gov/health. sa.gov/health.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
I can't sleep.
What is it now?
It's the company. It's chaos.
What's chaos now?
The numbers, the expenses, the books. What if we get audited?
No one's gonna audit you at 3 a.m. Go to sleep.
I can't sleep.
You could if you used Ramp.
Who said that?
I don't care because they're right. Go to sleep and sign up for Ramp in the morning, Jerry.
Ramp is the corporate card that handles all your tedious financial operations automatically, integrates directly with your ERP, and gives you complete control over every transaction. Ramp gives you everything you need for bulletproof books and a better night's sleep.
Wow, that is exactly what my company needs.
Yes, and exactly what I also need. Go to sleep, Jerry.
Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Wilco, live in concert. Sweet and Sour Spring 2025. VSB, May 6th. With special guest, Waxahachie. Wilco. Get tickets now at livenation.com. For more, visit wilcoworld.net.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Listen up, Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. So let's do it again and get vaccinated. We're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults under 50. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit vaxassist.com to schedule. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
May I help you? I just wanted to request a late checkout, please. Of course. That's $30 per hour for up to 4 hours. Huh. Okay, but if you can offer a late checkout, then that probably means no one is staying in that room. So if it's empty, maybe I can just stay a few extra hours. Oh, aren't you adorable?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagle. You're listening to the home of the Texas Rangers, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
American woman, get you away from me. American woman, baby, let Rob be. Yeah.
Lisa Bonet. He did well for himself.
I don't want to see your face no more. I got more important things to do.
I'm a fan of Lenny. He's always been underrated.
Lenny's cool.
He is. He's a little tiny dude.
Yeah. I mean,
he jams, boy.
A lot of the times, like Prince, little tiny dude.
I'm pretty sure
pretty
Prince
cool.
had goat hooves.
Yeah.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Gotta get away. Gotta fly away. I think he means with drugs when he says fly away. You think so, Vic?
He's high on life, baby.
You think he's talking about drugs?
Yeah.
Probably so.
Yeah, just pot.
He's 60 years old.
60? Damn.
Born in 64.
Wow.
I bet he's still cool.
Oh, he's cool.
Oh, yeah, he'll be cool till he dies.
He had a...
when I'm 60, I'm going to be lame.
He had a costume malfunction on stage.
His boobie fell out?
No, his
dong
Johnson
fell
rod,
out?
His Johnson rod.
Whoa.
He threw a rod.
What?
Yeah, fell out.
He literally threw it.
And he became even a bigger legend.
What?
Yeah, that happened a couple years ago.
Powerful?
It popped out and played another guitar on its own.
The force was with him. He was Edward Penis Hands?
Edward Penis Hands. He was able... He wasn't dealing with shrinkage, and it wasn't cold.
I like when the show comes full circle.
Yes, we've come all the way back. Took us 4 hours, but here we are.
All right, let's do what we always do to wrap up the show, baby. Let's take a look at the daily lines.
We brought it back.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
NBA playoffs continue tonight. The Boston Celtics 4.5-point favorites in Orlando.
What are we saying about...
Does Mickey Mouse have enough in him to carry the Magic to a victory?
Tatum and Holiday GTDs, that's game time decision to you and me. That might be worth paying attention to.
Okay. My guess is that the number says that Jason Tatum's unlikely to play.
I like 4.5. I kind of like Orlando, especially if no Drew. I don't think they're going to win. But
I think I like Orlando too. Yeah. Bucks 5-point favorites hosting the Pacers. I like the Bucks tonight.
Yeah.
This is a must-win. I think they bounce back. I think they've got to win this thing. I think they will.
Superstar doing superstar things.
I think that's what we're going to see. And the Minnesota Timberwolves up to 3-point favorites hosting the La Lakers.
I could make a point on both sides of this and fully believe it. I have no idea what's going to happen tonight.
Okay. Games this weekend. Cavs -6 in Miami. Are the Heat going to win a game in this thing?
No, and now they've got, what's his name, the Depoy. We got Defensive Player of the Year.
At Mobley.
And Mobley got it and deserves it.
I think so, too.
So I think they're riding high.
OKC -14.5 at Memphis tomorrow. They close it out?
Man, they're bringing in their G League team to finish them out.
Good luck, friends. Clippers 5.5-point favorites, pushing towards 6-point favorites.
Now, I'm going to give you a little love right here. I think it was last Monday or so we were talking about them, and you said you wouldn't be surprised if you saw the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals.
Well,
and they look like a Western Conference Finals team.
The problem is the bracket lines them up to Oklahoma City.
Dude.
But I did say if they didn't have to play Oklahoma City, I think they would win the West.
So good. Right?
They are, man. They're good. And the Rockets +2.5 at Golden State. I kind of think this year we're going to see ping pong in this series. We're going to see Rockets, Warriors, Rockets, Warriors.
Yeah, I think we'll see youthful exuberance win a game and then lose a game.
And then Detroit on Sunday, Detroit 1.5-point favorites hosting the New York Knicks. In the NHL today, we've got the Capitals at the Canadiens. The Capitals minus 120 on the road. Carolina Hurricanes minus 170 on the road to take on the New Jersey Devils. Vicky Valancourt is the Devil. The LA Kings are at the Edmonton Oilers. Edmonton minus 142. They're down 2-0 in the series, so looking to bounce back as well. Tomorrow, the Lightning go to Florida. Well, they're going to be in Florida, but the Lightning will be at the Florida Panthers. Minus 135 are the Panthers. The Golden Knights minus 150 tomorrow to even it up with the Wild. God, I can't believe the Knights are down in this series to the crumb-bum Wild. I'm gonna be so done with hockey if they lose this series. Maple Leafs are at the Senators.
If you lose your team, I'm in with Toronto now, man. What's this guy? Stolars.
Oh,
Anthony Stolars.
You like that bully
has brought
goalie.
Me into hockey. I am now a Torontan.
Well, the Toronto Maple Leafs won again in overtime. 2 games in a row they've won in overtime over Ottawa. Ottawa minus 115 though in this game, and then Dallas plus 160 at Colorado. Dallas is I thought Dallas was going to be dead early. They're up 2-1 on the Avalanche, which is a bit of a surprise. So Avalanche though expected to win this one. They are minus 192 in Major League Baseball today. Taijuan Walker pitches the early game. He's going to take the ball for the Phillies. Going up against the Cubbies. Cubs send Colin Ray to the hill. Cubs minus 148.
Playing some baseball.
They're favored over the Phillies.
Took down the Dodgers. Ian Happ 4 for 5 the other night.
Yeah. Casey Mize and the Tigers, they're favored today at home. Minus 120 against the Baltimore Orioles. Brandon Young, who's a made-up person, is pitching for the Orioles. Plus 100 on them. Kodai Senga. Kodai. He is minus 180 for the Mets. Jake Irvin goes for the Nationals. Nationals plus 150. Jose Barrios goes for the Blue Jays. They're plus 115 at the Yankees with Carlos Carrasco on the hill for the Yanks, minus 135. Tanner Houck goes for the Red Sox. They're at the Guardians. Ben Lively going for the Guards. That's a pick'em. Straight pick'em, baby. Hayden Wesniewski goes for the Stros. Go Stros. They're minus 115 in Kansas City. Seth Lugo going for the Royals. The L.A. Angels of Anaheim, South California. Kyle Hendricks going for them. Pablo Lopez goes for the Twins. Twins minus 200 today, hosting the Angels. The Angels suck. Chad Patrick and the Brewers are at Matthew Liberatore and the Cardinals. Cardinals minus 130 there. Andrew Abbott goes for the Reds. They are minus 120 in Colorado. I actually like Andrew Abbott quite a bit. Give me Andrew Abbott and the Reds, minus 120 today on the road in Colorado. Total's 9.5, so there will probably be a bunch of home runs. But I just think the Rockies really stink, and I actually like this pitcher for the Reds. So I'll be on the Reds today. Logan Gilbert, he's on my fantasy team. Mm-hmm. He better win tonight or else. He's minus 280. The Mariners are minus 280 hosting Cal Quantrill and the Miami Marlins. Cal Quantrill, I know this isn't true, but it feels like I had baseball cards in 1986 of Cal Quantrill.
Cal Quantrill. He sounds like a rancher to me.
Yeah.
Quantrill Ranch.
It's Quantrill it's a unique name, yet some reason I'm like, I remember that guy. I don't know. But either way, I hope he gets his ass kicked today. Because Logan Gilbert, I'm needing that win, baby. Tampa, Shane Baz at the Padres with Michael King. The Padres minus 140. Chris Sale. This is a good pitching matchup today. Chris Sale and the Braves minus 135 at Arizona. The Diamondbacks, Zach Gallen. So Chris Sale and Zach Gallen, the total's 8.5.
Yeah, well, quick. Who has a better record?
The Diamondbacks do.
Diamondbacks, yeah, which is a bit surprising. But
I think I'm playing the under here. Under 8.5? What, like? They're both the team's best pitchers. Why wouldn't you play under here?
Let's see
what. They may get some of my money today for that. The White Sox coming off a win yesterday. They are, which means what are the chances they're going to win 2 in a row? Let's be serious. Sean Burke goes for the White Sox. Luis Severino for the Athletics. The Sacramento A's minus 245.
The Sacramento.
Good Lord, the White Sox are so bad. Here's another good pitching matchup, although this one, the total is set at 7.
This is probably a little bit better.
Paul Skeens goes for the Pirates of Pittsburgh. Yoshinobu Yamamoto goes for the L.A. Dodgers.
This will be fun tonight.
But the Dodgers are minus 220 because at the end of the day, what they didn't tell everybody is that both teams have to hit also.
There is that.
The Pirates can't hit, and the Dodgers are pretty good at it.
If you're curious, Will Smith day-to-day at catch. We'll see if he plays.
And then Nathan Eovaldi goes for the Rangers. They are at San Francisco taking on Justin Verlander. JV going for the Giants. Giants minus 115. I believe you'll probably hear that game on our sister station tonight, wouldn't you?
We'll guarantee that, right?
So there you go.
Tonight you will catch the draft here, and our sister will have the A's Rangers going at 8:30.
Yep, Justin Verlander, former MVP, you can hear on our sister station tonight, or you can hear the draft either way. The UFC is in Kansas City this weekend, and this is a really, really solid main event. Carlos Prates and Ian Machado Gary. He used to just be Ian Gary, one of the rare guys who took his wife's name.
Good thing he's a UFC fighter.
Right? Yeah. Big balls play.
Yeah.
Prates plus 120, Gary minus 140. I am going with the underdog here. I like Carlos Prates at plus 120. I also like it to go over 3.5 rounds. That's minus 105. So if you're into betting the UFC, that is the way I will be looking as well. And one of my good buddies, Matt Schnell, fights as well on this card. He's minus 170 against Jimmy Flick, and Jimmy Flick sucks.
If name like that.
If my buddy Matt loses, I'm going to stop telling you guys that we're friends.
Jiminy Flick.
Yeah. So if he loses to Jimmy Flick, dead to me. Dead to me. I mean, I'll still be his friend, but we won't be friends in public anymore.
All right. Fiesta appropriately, San Antonio.
Happy Fiesta, everybody. Happy weekend. You guys enjoy it. And, keep it sportsy, says Paul Quantrill, I'm thinking.
Paul Quantrill.
He's right. Keep it sportsy, friends. We'll see you guys on Monday. Take care.